How's it going, guys? I can't believe this is episode 45 already. It's wow, time's just flying. So got me, Brian Haybell Waller, and I got that nickname for kicking a hay bale. I think you all saw that video.
You're the one that broke your ankle.
Yeah, that was me.
I've seen all the videos. Okay.
I love it.
I know who you are.
Celebrity.
Dude, when I go to fly-ins, every time I say something about a hay bale, oh, I saw your video. But anyway, that's my claim to fame, I guess. I made a Tucker Got Crash review. Tonight we have Linda Anderson with us, our cheerleader.
Yeah.
And as normal, our tech guru, JP Too Low.
What's up, guys?
Yeah.
Happy to be here. Always a pleasure.
And you already heard from PPG Grandpa. He's putting up some links right now to go out on all his 5 dozen YouTube channels that he has. And but tonight we have a couple guests with us. We have Dustin, Ghilli, and Hammer, Mad Hammer, otherwise known as Jason. And these guys just got suckered into the world of paramotors. And so tell us about it. How did that happen? Tell us about yourself.
Go for it, Dustin.
Well, it was a pretty fun time up in Washington. We were up there with Moto America. So I toured with Moto America. So it was Jason. It's a pro road race motorcycle setup. And it's here we are in the middle of nowhere's Washington. And next thing you know, it's about 7:30 in the morning. This dude's just sleeping away. Practice is like 8 o'clock. And these paramotor guys come flying in, and it was kind of crazy. I didn't even understand what it was at first. Like these 3 people just drop in on motors with this parachute, and they're flying around the racetrack. This one guy was literally dragging his feet, going around the whole deal, racing the racetrack, and finished the track. He comes over, he does the go-kart track, and then he comes to the pit all low and slow, like right under all the RVs. And I had my phone out. I'm freaking out. I'm Googling like what this is, how to do this. By the time they were gone, I couldn't see them. I bashed this dude's door in. One of my other dude, Chris Littleguard, but I couldn't wake everybody enough, like everyone up quick enough. It was shocking to me what just happened. And even the tech guys were like, "Oh, you're gonna do that?" I'm like, "I already signed up." Literally, by the time they were gone, I couldn't see them. I found a school local to Buckeye, Arizona, where I was driving back to, and Epic Paramotor School, and I signed up right then and there. By the time they were gone, it was like, this is the best $1,500 I'm going to spend all year, and take my money now. And I suckered all my buddies into coming, and now all of a sudden, from Washington on, it was the longest 2.5 months of my life of watching more YouTube videos than I've ever seen. I mean, here we had to drive from Washington back to Pittsburgh, and then to Atlanta, and then to California. So, man, all I did was watch videos and drive my RV. So I know everyone through videos. I mean, I recognize everyone's face, and I've studied and studied and studied. So I felt like this was my calling. I really did. We showed up to school, like having already read the Bible, having like
purchased Mavericks, brand new Maverick air jets, and brand new roadster on wings, and never had done it. So we literally bought all this equipment and showed up and did the school and learned, and it's been really cool, man. Like I can't even explain. Like I'm scared of heights, so it's hard for me to even like explain the whole thing. Like fly up off the ground.
I get it, man.
It's just naturally not like I race motorcycles, but like doing this is like a serious fear. It's like it's really hard to like mentally get myself to do it, and so it's funny. Like Dustin's really he's excelled way faster than I have because I'm just a weenie. Like I kind of took me a little bit longer to get comfortable and get everything sorted, but I'm doing good. I'm on like 15 or 16 flights now, and I got maybe 10 hours or so. But it's cool, man. It's
wait till you see my new grill for my RV. So I year or two ago, we hit a deer in Iowa in this RV, so there's no grill. My headlights are a little duct taped in, but I mean, this thing, it's got 220,000 miles. Hold on, you got to see the new grill for it. I'll grab it. Hold on, here like this.
He's gonna go grab the grill off the front of the RV and bring it in.
I had a launch mishap, and I actually stalled my wing so bad that it went into the prop wash and then it pretty much stopped me in midair. So I was taking off, and then it stopped me like probably 20 feet off the ground, and I just sunk to the ground. And I saved it, but when I stumbled back on my feet, I spun the prop onto the dirt and broke my prop. And so we're gonna.
So Mad Hammer.
Check out our
Oh, okay, I got you.
check out our new grill.
That's the new
Oh, grill, I got you.
Oh,
There's a story behind every broken prop. I guarantee you.
Absolutely. Everybody has a wall of shame. Not wall of shame, but it's learning experiences, right?
Exactly.
You got to sign it.
So
So-
no, it was, yeah,
forget
the
to date
stickers
it,
and
too.
everything on it. It was quite the experience because I was actually on the mic trying to help him go up, and everything was great. He had like the perfect inflation. He was sending it. The next thing you know, he's full throttle and he's going up. And what does he do? He takes his hands and he's holding the brakes, and he goes to go into the seat, and both his hands on the brakes are holding the seat, and he's wide open. Whoa! Right into the dirt, and like turtles into the dirt, dude. And prop blows everywhere, dude. It was sand and prop, and it was pretty gnarly. I mean, it was lucky. It was only like 10 feet. I mean, the dude, he only broke a prop. The Maverick held up extremely well. I mean, holy cow! I'm stoked that I have one after watching him do what he did. Yeah. It was good times. Good times. Lucky to be out here with the school. They had an extra prop for them, so 20 minutes later, we're flying. It was no big deal.
amazing.
So we've been talking a little bit before today, and some of the things that you said that you did before. Give us some of your background. I mean, you've done motocross, you've done all sorts of cool stuff. What are some of the cool things that you've done in the past?
Wow. So you're not allowed to touch the phone.
I know, but you're on our camera.
Exactly. It's all right. So
Jesus.
It's like you guys in an earthquake or something over there.
First time. It's our first
Jason got a little excited touching the phone over here. So it only changes when they talk.
Oh, I got you.
He thought I was touching the phone, changing the screen. So he noticed that.
Oh,
Yeah.
the little yellow box around people's images. Yeah, that goes to whoever's talking,
Gotcha.
Oh,
right?
that's why I went to there.
So I guess I'm pretty spoiled in the race community. I mean, when I started out in Vermont, I mean, I was a stunt rider while I was in the Army. I was like a paratrooper in the Army, and next thing you know, after being with like Green Mountain Outlaws up in Vermont and stunt riding, I decided I need to go to Arizona where it's nice and warm. Came out here and I got spoiled with racing. I mean, I stunt riding at that time, and got to tour the world. Went to Australia through Clear Channel Entertainment. They paid my way to go out there with my dad and everything, and I won a world title over there with a bunch of buddies. Toured the whole Golden Coast, and then came back, did a whole bunch more stunt riding. Like when Evel Knievel was alive still, he would come out and he would talk. You know, I'm the baddest there ever was. There was a bleep there, natural bleep. So yeah, he was pretty wicked. He'd come out and talk, and I come out on his bike and his gear, and I blow the place apart. I mean, the bike still sits in Buddy Stubbs Harley Davidson to this day. You know, don't sit, don't touch. And yeah, I've been through 3 rear tires off that thing and did like a commercial with it with Buddy. And I very spoiled with riding. I mean, to ride for Evel Knievel in front of Evel Knievel and him giving me like the props with his stuff was just like, I mean, I'm growing hair just talking about it, you know, it's something else. So got bored stunt riding. I mean, I hate to say it, but I mean, when you get bored doing something like that, I felt like, I wouldn't say bored, but where else can I go from here, right? And so I started road racing out here in Arizona. I won like the Southwest Regional #1 plate through CCS, and then I became an Indy Motorsports member, which is just rad. This is a members only community down in Wilcox, Arizona. It's a private it's a private deal where you can fly in. They have their own airstrip, full 2.5 or 2.8 mile racetrack, and I play there a lot. And now I get to go fly there too. So we have like a 5-acre paved burnout pad that's technically my new LZ for my PG, you know. So it's gonna be rad. We even have our own little mountain with a glass top enclosure with a lookout, and so you can sit on top of the mountain, watch everyone fly, and just super enjoy it. It's really rad. I can't say enough about it, and now I just get spoiled with flying. I mean, I went from riding to flying, and with the last 5 months have been crazy. I've been in 45 states in the last 5 months. I mean, I've drove the whole country. I can't even tell you how many times and which ways. I've diagonal, up, down, crossways, forward, backwards. I went through quite a few places a few times, multiples. It was, I can't even believe I'm driving back through here again and again. But next year is going to be wild, especially with flying to all the Moto America places. I mean, it's so I mean, I can talk. I mean, there's a little bit of background of like where I came from riding. If you know me in riding at all, probably the biggest thing is I drag my head on the ground 100+ miles an hour, 10-degree bank corner. One of my famous ones is at Chuckwalla, in the bowl, in my Ghilli suit, on my camo bike, and you know, I mean, it's pretty viral. I stupidly enjoy life more than I should. I've dragged my head on a lot more places, in a lot more racetracks, on purpose, mind you, and I give those helmets away, and it's fun. I mean, it really, it's I've tried all types of things. I've made all types of cool videos doing it, and now it's like, you know, go out and drag your feet, go out and drag some drag some water, go out, and I've dragged the roof of my RV a few times. It's pretty rad.
So where do we find you on YouTube?
You can go right to my name, Dustin Apgar, on YouTube, and you can see me fly with my dog, my paraGriffon, Cassie. She's got 6 flights under her belt now. She's 54 pounds. I mean, she's only had 2 misinflations, and that's when we first tried doing it with absolute zero wind launch. It was such a struggle. I was so beat after that, and then I had one of the sketchiest launches I ever had. So, oh yeah, see, there you are right there. I got all types of, yeah. You can even see some stunt riding ones from Australia. I got, yeah, I hand feed foxes. You know, my dog rides motorcycles. She, yeah, I love the YouTube. That's awesome. So, and drifting under the 18. Oh, here we go. All right. So this is one of my first inflations. Actually, we're at this field right now. I can look out the door right there to that. So
Nice.
this is one of my first ones, and this is, I believe, Noah or Nick. Yeah, this would be Noah because I see Nick standing there.
Is that a Roadster? Roadster 2?
3.
3?
Yep, that's Roadster 3, and I'm on that's the Maverick with I believe that's the Atom 80.
Nice.
Actually,
And you didn't sit down.
first launches, so that would be with the Monster 185 because that was one of my first launches. So I think that was launch number 2.
You did good, man. Good form.
Thank you.
Nice.
Yeah, I started. Let me see if that was launch number 2. That would have been day. So
Day 3 or 4.
no, because that would have been launch 2. So I did that on day 1, but then on day 2, literally, I'm flying with. No, day 3, I was flying with the instructors. So my first XC with my instructors on day 3, they ran out of gas, just cleared the tree line, just cleared the power line over the water, and hit the road on the other side, this little dirt reel. And dude, it was like, oh my God, this is so crazy. Like, I can't believe Nick just ran out of gas right there. And so Noah landed too, and he ended up not having enough gas to siphon any. So here I am, my first XC adventure, and I need to land over the power line, over the water, over the road, into the desert bush. Like, here we go, Dustin, you can do this. So I like did a nice little J hook in, off throttle, stuck it right next to him. Like, I can't believe I just hit a spot landing within 10 feet of my instructors. Like, set it down, turn, set it down perfect to where I even like kited it a little away from the cactus bush that was right there, and I was blown away. I had plenty of fuel, set them both up with fuel, and we all took back off. It was my first inflation to where I had to inflate out of the puckers to where I had to pop the lines out of all the it was crazy. It was so much desert, and I had to go over the water, over the power line, and then off. So it was like, game on, you better be on point right now. And I hit it. It was like first inflation and out. I was stoked. So I've just been gaining confidence. Like, here's the video right here. I flew to the bottom of the copper mine, which was just so intense. Like, Noah right here is filming it from the top. And yeah, he was dogging me pretty good, because I mean, here's my instructor telling me that, you know, he's never been to the bottom of the mine, and here I am dropping all the way to the bottom and just Senders Club. And dude, I
Just so you know, I won't do that. I don't have the cojones. So
we flew to the copper mine.
I flew around it a
It
couple
was a little
times. but
spicy when we went there,
It was a
though.
little windy, so
Yeah.
it was.
If you have a
awesome.
motor out though,
It
like
was
if you have a
cro-
motor out,
So I checked. Okay, so as I was going down, right, I thought to myself multiple times, like, all right, if your motor's out, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? So there was 3 spots down there where I could no problem land, but you had to be in the right spot to hit those. They were everywhere else. It was like, okay, you're gonna just put it into the bank right there and crawl. No, you're gonna put it in the bank. You can almost make it to the edge over there, because when you're on the one side of the water, you can see the ripples, because the wind would come down one side, up the other, and the ripples on the water were pretty crazy at the bottom. I was not expecting to see that at all.
Now, do you have your perspective of being down there in the mine?
I do. I have a killer GoPro Sessions 5 that is clipped right to my chest. I wouldn't say to my chest, but I have like the clip mount, so it's on my riser, right, aiming forward. And oh man, like when you're even trying to look down from up there, I mean, it's you can't even see out. It's crazy. And to watch the actual copper bleed down the wall, you can literally, like, I feel like, why aren't they mining it? It just looks like so much copper is just running down the whole wall. It's pretty cool. Like, the smell's a little different. The feeling is, I can't even, it's eerie, but it's like, this is one of the coolest places to go fly through. It's like, there's a hole and I'm just going to fly through the earth right now, and let's just keep going. You can make this. You can make this. You can make. It's one of those things you always have to have the yes, yes, yes in your head, and never get that like that anti feeling, you know. And so I just stayed positive the whole time, and flew to the good parts, and really paid attention. The telephone poles down there were crazy. They like came sideways off the wall all the way down, and I was not expecting to see telephone poles all the way down and all the way up the other side. I was shocked.
telephone poles in there.
Telephone poles in there. It's not. Wait till you see the onboard. I'm blown. I can't wait. I mean, the only reason the onboard's not up is because we've been flying so much at the fly field. All I've been doing is taking video.
Yeah.
Now, how long have you been flying now? I mean, you just started flying. How many hours you got on your belt?
I broke 45 hours this morning, and I will be at 30 days on the 11th.
You're doing more than me, and I thought that I was pretty good, but
Yeah.
I think you're going to kick my butt completely on this one.
So I put let's see here. I put a little over 16 hours on the Atom 80. I put quite a few hours on the schools. Maverick Moster 185 as well, and now I have almost 30 hours on my own Moster 185. And it's funny, I call Aviator, and they're all, Dustin, you haven't had your Maverick for about a week or two. You know, like how you know, like do you sleep? Do you just not fly? I mean, like, I guess I don't really sleep much, and I really enjoy flying.
So where'd you train at? I heard you mention aviator.
Actually, I'm just finishing up right now with my PPG2 with Epic Paramotor with Nick and Noah. Basically, Noah's been my main trainer, Noah Rochette, and it's been amazing having these two. I feel like I've learned a lot more than just flying. Being around Noah, he's you learn a lot. I mean, with the whole Buddhist community and all what he does is how calm he is, how just like his whole demeanor of how he's able to just portray the information you need to absorb. It's just amazing. And yeah.
Take your dog up with you?
So here she is. When I first went flying, we went for a test, but that right there, she's got her rec specs on. She's got inner ear earplugs. I tried the outer earplugs, like the muff puffs or whatever. Doesn't like them, and they don't really work well for her, but she's so good with me. I hold her head all sideways, pull her ears open, and I stick the big orange, foamy earplugs right down her ear canal, and she doesn't shake her head or try and wag them out or nothing. And when we land, I unclip. She is super calm. We unclip. She walks away, and she stands there and looks at me and shakes her head until both of them come flying out. And she's good. It's just like, what a great dog.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's
It's awesome you can share the experience with her.
How much does she weigh?
She's got 6 flights now. She's 54 pounds. And the only main reason I know she was 54 pounds was we were just finished flight school, and I was waiting for my Parajet to show up, and we were out skateboarding on a Sunday night. My paramotor was supposed to show up Monday morning. Actually, no, I'm sorry. This is just before Thanksgiving. I was supposed to fly out Monday morning, and we got hit by a car on a hit and run. We were skateboarding along at night. Had my flash and everything. And this I saw the lady come in, so I hit my flashlight, shined it right at, I wouldn't say shine it at her. It was like a tall ones where you could just see us all lit up. And she turned right into us and mowed us down right off the front bumper. Stopped, looked at us, made sure we were laying there, and bolted.
Wow.
In my neighborhood. And so I tried calling my roommate lying there with my dog. I picked her up and carried her home and raced to the ER. And this was at like 10 o'clock at night. So there was no flying to Texas to see my family for Thanksgiving. So ended up staying, and she had real bad road rash on both her back feet. Her bones were kind of sticking out her feet. So we got x-rays, made sure everything was really good. She got good painkillers. Nothing was broken. So we're stoked on that. And we slept it off for a day or two. And on our second day of sleeping it off, my paramotor showed up. And it wasn't even supposed to be there. Like, the tracking said it was still like nowhere's to be found. Like, no, not nowhere's to be found, but at least a week out. And lo and behold, it showed up. So we while she was resting in the garage on the floor, we unpackaged it, built it, and we decided to go flying. I mean, you can see in this video right here, that's my homemade. I take 2 really, really high-end, good good dog strap setups, like full body dog strap setups. I put one off her back, one off her front. I use a super Velcro and Velcro the 2 together. And then, so it's like one giant strap setup. I got carabiners and I double hook the carabiners in. So it's in where the top leash would go. It's also in where the dog handles go. And then we carabiner her in on the little hole right underneath where my carabiners are for my risers. And so we keep like the riser lines clear, and because I I don't want to say attempted, but like just going over it all. I tried putting her carabiner in the same carabiner as the risers, and it messed with the risers, just like testing things. So we knew to set it up in her own risers. Yeah, so here we are on a decent launch, good inflation. This was our second flight right here.
That's so awesome, man. You know how many people want to fly with their dog?
I'm blown away. That is amazing.
Here she's got her goggles on, and right here her goggles come flying off. I didn't have them on quite right. They were had a different earmuff trying. We were trying some different earmuff combos, and right about here her earmuffs come off, which are $100. I mean her goggles come off. Those are $100. So after we finally landed, we came back and we found her goggles in the desert because I mean those are $100. I mean. Those are the most expensive goggles I've ever bought. I've never bought like even a pair like that for myself. So we do a flyby. I'm trying to yell at my roommate like, "Hey, her goggles are in the desert."
Retrieve.
Dude, that's awesome, man. I'm surprised they don't have a lot more than 500 views on that because that's pretty cool taking off with the dog. Mine weighs 90 pounds. I have to get a tandem.
A close up of the goggles. If you guys want to see what.
Oh yeah. You want to see the goggles?
Yeah.
Right there, Jay.
I love it. I love it. That's like the coolest dog ever.
Oh yeah. So here we are at Laguna Seca at the bottom of the corkscrew. And so we're on our motorcycle right there, and this is the start of one of the Moto America races, and she is loving it. I think it was either the super bike race or one of the no, that's not that's I think that might be the super stock race. But yeah, she loves bikes. I mean, we go out to Indy and she like watches all the high end cars and stuff. I mean, she's a track dog and. Yeah, now she's a fly dog. She's also gone tubing behind
fly
the boat.
I love it.
I put a vest on her and she swims across the lake on her own. She's just like out there swimming around the lake, chasing lake spiders. And then we took her tubing. I mean, like I'm on the tube with her and she's just jamming on the tube. But here's the rec specs, and they're actually really nice. Let's see if you can get a view through it.
Nicer than my glasses. Sure.
Nicer than
I
mine
got the
too.
$20 shades out of the Walmart hunting section. They're polarized. So I got a question for the Hammer or Mad Hammer.
Mad Hammer.
So you're up to 15 flights, I think is what I heard.
Yeah, I think
Did you go to training school as well, or did Dustin teach you how to fly?
Oh no! I mean, Dustin's helped me when my instructors weren't around. I would ask him just to guide me and make sure when I was doing launches that my wing was level and just make sure everything was good. I mean, basically just get me, I guess like guide me through the launch just to make sure that I wasn't.
Trust me, I'm all about helping my friends and helping. I make sure he gets up in the air. I mean, there's no.
Yeah, I like I said, I've gone through 3 different wings too. So I went from like a Magic to a Mojo to a Roadster, and so just getting used to the way the wings feel and how they launch. And I haven't screwed up any landings. A couple kind of funky, weird landings.
Hammer has a broken. Well, I wouldn't say, but his one arm doesn't extend like the other. He's got way too much metal and whatever in there. So when you have like a 6-inch reach difference per arm, when you come in and you J-hook, he J-hooks
yeah,
the
I
flares.
always curve to the left because my left arm extends further than my right. So like naturally, like I just go to push it down all the way, and then my left arm's lower, and so it automatically turns to the left. And so I have this problem of like at the end of my flare, like hooking to the left every single time. So like trying to sort that out, maybe grabbing the above the riser when I land, like grabbing like the top of the triangle.
Which hand is it you can't pull down as far with? Is it your left hand you can't pull down with?
My right hand.
So you might wrap your wrist one time with your left brake. I'm sorry, with your right one, so you can pull it further.
Yeah.
And then not your left, and that way you can kind of get the same amount of total brake pull.
Yeah, so I thought about just grabbing the tip of the, the brake instead of grabbing the handle, because it's only like 3 inches difference. I mean, we measured my throw. It's definitely lower, like by about 3 inches. So like every single time I flare, it goes and shoots me like this left. I'm like, God damn it!
That's not good.
Frustrating. So.
That's not good.
Yeah, so I'm sorting it. Like when I was doing the Mojo and the Magic, it wasn't as abrupt. So the Roadster's a little sharper, and so it's definitely exaggerated on that one a little bit. I mean, it's a minor thing. I haven't hit metal on the ground yet. I've always ran everything out and always landed on my feet and haven't tangled any cords or anything like that. So like, I've been good. It's just a little sketchy sometimes. So
you might want to check the lengths of those brake lines. You definitely don't need them.
Yeah.
3 inches off.
I had an engine out. I was listening to some music in my headphones, and I was doing patterns, and I was coming in, and I went to get on the gas, and I couldn't really hear the engine idling, and I was probably 25 or 30 feet off the ground, and I went to get back on the gas to accelerate out of the pattern, and there was nothing. And so I did a 2-point landing where I flared, and I was like, oh no, there's nothing here. And so then I let off and charged the wing back up and dove down as far as I could until my feet hit the ground, and then I flared again and popped up and landed on my feet and didn't screw anything up. But it was pretty scary for like my 3rd flight, I think.
I was gonna say, yeah, it was like second or third flight. Yeah, it was early.
I probably shouldn't have been listening to music.
Hammer's pretty good with his radio, so on like his little Bofang radio, he learned how to put the radio on, and as you talk to him, it'll automatically cut off. So I'll just listen to classic rock as I fly, and I can still hear you guys. No problem. You're fine. I'll hear you when you talk.
Yeah, the other day we were flying, and I turned on the radio, and it's like, I can see for miles and miles. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, yeah, guys. And we were all flying over to this mine, and it was pretty badass.
Yeah,
it was cool.
awesome.
That's pretty awesome. I mean, you went to the mine, which is to me pretty cool. What other places, are pretty cool that you've flown so far?
So honestly, I've only flown here because his rig showed up about 2 weeks before I had to leave. I had to go to Texas to sell one of my Moto America bikes, and so I flew back to Arizona on an airplane, just like an airliner, American, and he picked me up at the airport. We put together my wing. We broke it in the morning, and then drove here and flew that night.
Yeah.
So I've got 7 flights or 6 flights,
on your
6 or 7 on my new setup with my new wing. So
2 props. I mean, well, 1 prop.
yeah, I did smoke a prop. It's all good. It's all part of the show.
Dustin, you got to send that video of you and the dog to that show right this minute.
So, I mean, like, what I find is it's wild. Like, I'll be watching TV, and next thing you know, like, hey, that's me on TV. I mean, I've been on what's that? Oh man, the dude who's always standing there in the middle and watching all the videos, and he's got like 3 people on the couch. So the Rick Dick. No, is it Rick? No, it's not ridiculous, but
it's gotta be
ridiculousness.
Ridiculousness.
So yeah, I've been on ridiculousness. I think like 4 times now. I don't know. I've been on there. There's a few different things. I mean,
you gotta get on that show right this minute. A lot of the paramotors have gotten their stuff on there. It's pretty cool. Yeah, I've been waiting. I watch the show every day, and I've been waiting for you to be on there with your doggy or flying over.
Right this minute. Oh, you know what? So with that show, right this minute, that's like one of the ones like in the middle of the day, right? Where you like watch it during like when you're home on lunch.
Yeah, it's on like at Arizona time. It's on at 2 o'clock, 2:30.
So my cousin, one of my cousins, she was born with 1 arm. She pitches she plays in the boys baseball league with 1 arm, and man, that girl can whip. So she's like their top hitter, top pitcher, plays in the boys baseball league, and like she's like an all-star statey, and so yeah, she's been on that show as well. They did like a whole big like deal. It was pretty wicked. So yeah, I know that. I know the what
Yeah,
you're talking about. That's cool.
definitely, you gotta do that, because I'll be looking for that.
Okay, yeah, Cassie's quite the wonder, I'll tell you. So I'll send that in. She's
Yeah, because
Hmm.
at 2 o'clock, they have all the talk stuff, and then at 2:30 is when they put the videos on there, so.
So you were asking like about some like wild things. Like I'll tell you this, like I'm pretty spoiled, I guess, when it comes to fly areas. So right next to my house, there happens to be a closed down LZ. It's the Perky LZ. It's like right on the map. So it's rad. It's like right in this big white military area where you can fly up to 2,000 feet on the one edge and you can go up to 3,000 feet everywhere else. It's right next to the White Tank Mountains. It's 1 minute from my house. And I've been jamming through all the White Tank Mountains, which are just rad and beautiful.
Luke Air Force Base, right?
Yeah, over there, it's near Luke. I fly right up next to the edge of their their MOA area there, and there's so much wildlife over there. I mean, the coyotes, the owls, the deer. I'm an early morning guy, so I hit it in the mornings instead of hunting. Now I'm going and watching animals. It's pretty wicked. My dog loves watching coyotes in the desert. I mean, oh my God, if I could just, she's like, unclip me, Dad, let me jump. You know, like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, coyotes aren't very nice, so you gotta be careful.
While you're in the paramotor, it should be all right.
Yeah, there you go. As long as you're flying, that's right. Not walking in between the coyotes.
So I heard you say in the pre-show that you had been to something like 40, 45 states recently. How many of those states have you been able to fly in?
So currently, I mean, I've only got my license. I only got, our own rigs here 2 weeks ago. So I haven't been able to leave Arizona yet. I mean, we just got our rigs. We got them set up. I just went through PPG school, like right now. Like I'm still here right now. Noah's parked right next to me. We leave tomorrow, maybe the following day. I'm going to try to fly quite a bit tomorrow, especially here in town, up next to my house, and then take off for Texas. So we'll hit New Mexico and Texas here in the next couple days, and then keep flying along. I mean, we got quite the setup. I mean, if our rigs got here on time, I would have already flown in Oklahoma, Texas, New Mexico, and I already hit quite a few other states, everything in between. I mean,
and you're still in school and you still did all this.
Yeah.
And you still got 45 hours of airtime. That's amazing. And here's another takeoff.
Oh, yeah.
Seems like
get you one of those U.S. maps, man, that shows all 50 states and fill them in as you go. I've got one I started when I was traveling with my camper, but I kind of started over now with paramotors.
Well, so yeah, like I guess if I was to go by that, I mean, I've been touring the country since. Well, I mean, like, dude,
Google tracks you anyways. You just go look at your Google account, and it'll tell you everywhere you've been and how long you were there and everything.
Well, just since 2017 alone, I've been traveling with Moto America to all their races. So I've been touring nonstop basically since 2017. So it's pretty wicked. I've been a lot of places. I mean, I've pretty spoiled them when you do a state/country count. I'm liking it, and it's only going to get better. I mean, like this dude we met out here, at the school, the Nameless Wonder.
Why we're not allowed to talk about him, or
Well, I don't know. Do we say his name? I mean, I don't know if you're allowed to say his name. Like after you land on trains, I don't think you're allowed to say his name online, right? You know what we're talking about?
you guys know this guy.
The guy who landed on the train on his paramotor and was like standing on it, flying along, and took off. The Nameless.
Was this during the Resurgence trip recently?
He's done a bunch of overseas.
I don't necessarily know where it was or when it was or who it was, but we met this really rad dude. And,
I heard about this. I know what you're talking about.
He's I guess flown up and down the whole country coast and all over the place, and so he's been out. He came down this weekend from
Sedona.
From Sedona, and well, wait a minute, we don't know where he lives at.
Yeah.
So-
It probably wasn't Sedona.
So it might have been Flagstaff, right?
Flagstaff.
So
He's a motorcycle.
Definitely not Sedona.
Got a track bike, and so us being motorcycle guys and him being a fly guy, he's like really impressive. I'm not gonna lie, this guy.
this dude can fly. Okay, so like
Yeah.
what I like about it is like I know I can ride a motorcycle. This dude knows he can fly, right? And so he definitely showed off for us. He gave us some really cool tips and tricks. He's got a lot of experience, and it was rad. I mean, I can't wait to go flying more with him. I mean, me and him were like, there were some dirt biker buddies out here right next to the fly area, and some of my buddies Chris and whatnot. And dude, we were hitting the jumps on our paramotors, and I mean, like right there with the rampers. I mean, I actually at one point I landed and I ran right up the jump and launched off the jump on throttle. I didn't even think. I mean, I didn't think I'd be able to, but I mean, like you got to try it sometime. So,
especially when you have a bunch of extra, paramotor parts and props, right?
Hey,
We
when
got
you're
a couple sets, yeah.
when you're a senders club, you send it, dude. I mean, it was pretty wild, especially going off the jump too, because you had to fit it in between two trees, go up the lip, whatnot. I mean, like send it. It was.
We both have spares, so we got reserves. We're ready.
We got a question from the chat. Bill H wants to know, are you going to give up motorcycles now?
Oh my God, no! How could I mean, like it's still a.
Bite
I have
your
a.
tongue.
Okay, so check this out. All right, I mean, when I say I'm spoiled with the track, all right, so I have. Kim lets I have a 10-year-old son. I mean, I'm very Kim is amazing for me. She I mean, I can't say enough. I mean, how if it wasn't for her, there was nowhere I would be able to do anything like this in my entire life. So I say this because I got a bad boy Camaro, badass and bad boy Camaro, and I drive it on the track, and I beat cars I shouldn't. I got a few Porsche cars that I drive on the track that get around the track pretty fun. I mean, this place Indy right here. I mean, if you can like check out Indy Motorsports Ranch, it is a man's place to play. I promise you that. And I also have a few motorcycles that I play down there as well. I mean, if it's adrenaline packed. So what's nice now is I'll be able to fly in the morning, drive my bike or car all day, and fly in the evening and not even leave Indy. I mean, they have a chef right there. I mean, everything. I mean, what's really cool is me and a few, my buddy Danny, he picked up 25 acres right next to Indy. We've been building a Ghilli play area to where if you want, I mean, you can come. And because I train and I teach road racing and everything. So what I have set up right now is the house is on property right now. Danny's in the middle of setting up the 80 by 60 garage. So we already have all the tools, lifts, and everything. So I used to have a motorcycle shop, and I closed it, and now I've just been like holding off, waiting to put it up down there. So you can fly in, hang out, and you can hunt in the morning. You can fly in the morning. You can drive race cars. You can drive race bikes. You can drive dirt bikes. You can do it on the track. You can do it on the trail. You can do it on a flat track. We can go train on the burnout pad. We can go play on the burnout pad, or we can just like hang. There's so many things. We literally built a Ghilli play area where it is just, what do you want to do? I mean, I do custom setups to where it's like I teach on high-end levels of everything. I used to have a wheelie machine. I used to teach wheelies. I still do at points. I mean, I'm very good at absorbing information, passing on information. It's weird, like my brain for some reason is able to basically like, it's weird. I feel like I press a Bluetooth button, we like mesh, and all of a sudden things portray like right into you, and next thing you know, you're doing what you want to do on a motorcycle at massive lean angle, and I bring it, man. I mean, we're set up to play out here in Arizona. I can't even tell you enough.
No, there's a couple places that you call home. What are the different states and places you call home?
So in Texas is where Kim, my little boy D, live. I live out here in Buckeye as well, Arizona, with my roommate Frank. And in Vermont, I go up there with my mom and stay in little Lincoln hometown, Lincoln, Vermont. I'll tell you this, yeah, if you ever have a chance, don't come through during leaf peeping season because everyone else is already there. I mean, I have the most beautiful place you could ever imagine going to. I mean, we make, all my friends and family make maple syrup. It's one of those things that's what you do when you live in a little hometown nowheres where there's no gas stations, no stores other than the Lincoln General Store. There is no street lights. I live way down a dirt road, and so it's I can't
I've
even.
got a lot of ancestry, as you call it, in Vermont, because I'm adopted, so I have a lot of extended family over there. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah.
Vermont has a lot of love. I can definitely say that's where you want to be when you need some family. I'll tell you that.
There you go. Yeah.
You know what? You can still break down on the side of the road there and hitchhike, and people pull over.
That's cool. That's cool.
Hey, I got a question. Do you know AJ Goen by chance?
That name rings a bell to me.
Okay.
Why does that name ring a bell to me?
Well, he used to race motocross and fly drones for ESPN, and now he's the lead instructor at Aviator. So he flies. He gave up. You know, he had all this really cool life before that, and he found paramotors, and it changed his world, man. And you know, that's all he does now is just teach people to fly paramotors and fly every day.
That's rad. I know why I know his name actually through my YouTube videos. So I know what you're talking about. Exactly what you're talking about. Absolutely. But no, I have not met him in person. I'm sure I'll meet him one day flying, especially heading that, you know, that part of the country. I'll be everywhere here. Next season starts March. So yeah, travel's about to really kick off.
You're gonna meet good people every state you go to, man. And whenever you come through Alabama, make sure you look me up.
You know what's wild? This community, the PPG community, is a lot like a Moto America, even like I wouldn't even say just a motorcycle race community. So the whole motorcycle race community across the whole country is very open to everyone else that's in it. I mean, it's like, hey, if you're traveling across the country, I see you need some help, or you're at a random race event, and it's like, hey, I need something for my bike, or hey, I need some gear, something. People jump up and help, and so it's the same thing in this community. I mean, I'm here. I am. I haven't even been in this community for 30 days, and there's a couple right next to me right now, and they are from Alaska, and they've been giving me this, you know, red salmon from their front porch off their ocean, basically. And it's like, they're really, really fun, cool people, you know, like Jim and TJ, and it's cool to meet people like that, and that all they do is fly from Alaska to down to here, fly here, and when it warms up, they fly back to there. It's like, wait a minute, that's the life, you know? So, yeah, it's fun. It's really fun. The small community is rad. There was 16 people flying last night down here. So
that's awesome.
Wow.
Everyone came out of the woodworks last night. It was so cool. The Epic Paramotor School had 4 people, I think, flying last night, graduating. So we got, you know, 4 new guys in the air, and they were a couple special forces guys, which are rad. So this place out here is cool. I lucky to be out here during this nice weather. I mean, I know it's snowing and windy and wintertime everywhere else around the country. I mean, I'm watching some people, you know, flying with some gnarly gear, way too cold. I mean, I know Jason wouldn't even climb out of bed to go fly like, what was it? Like it was 45 degrees, and he's all pulling the blinds closed on his part of the RV. So I'm trying to go out in the morning to watch the sunrise. So
Yeah.
45 is not bad. It's when it drops down in 30s that's really cold.
I've been up in the 38, and then it went just before I went up, it was like 35. So yeah, it was heated gloves, heated everything. You know, sweatshirt my mom got me, the heated socks my dad got me, the
What kind of heated stuff do you have? Are they the battery powered heaters? And what brand are they?
So with the socks, they're pretty cool. I got these battery powered socks, which are pretty rad for Christmas from my pop a few years ago, and they work awesome. They're like almost knee high, and they heat up your feet really nice.
They don't take the big batteries, right? They're like USB charge.
Nope, those take AA batteries, and they go in their own little deal. Have like a nice little on-off switch. Red light comes on, you know it's on. It's legit.
Wow.
Just keep rolling through AA's. AA's last me. I only use them in the mornings every once in a while. So I mean, they usually last me about a week on a set of AA's.
How many hours is that?
Depends on the cold, so I don't use them every day. So I guess if I had to count them on hours, I would say 6 hours on the batteries.
That's not bad for AA batteries. How many AA?
2.
Wow.
No, it's legit. I'm shocked. It's really good. The gloves, I use some motorcycle race gloves, and they work really well. They got the high, medium, low. The chest, I use a Venture Heat sweatshirt where it's got the nice big battery, so you can plug your phone in if needed. And it's got the high, medium, low. Of course, it's like the nice red, white, and blue for America, so it's cool. It's like right on your chest with the high, medium, low. So even if you're wearing, I like to wear a jacket, windproof jacket over my sweatshirt. So when you got this nice heated sweatshirt inside, and it's so warm that you'll press your chest and you'll be like, nope, turn it down. And yeah, it's nice.
That's nice when it's that warm. One of the things that we also do is a thumbnail. So if we can get the hammer in next to you and JP and do a nice little thumbnail. JP, are you around, or you took off?
So I do have to tell you a really good experience after this. So I had one of the biggest, hardest learning lessons of my entire PPG career.
I don't see JP, so go ahead and knock us out with this one. This is probably good.
All right, this one is good. So this is a learning lesson for y'all. I promise you that. All right, I'm 135 pounds. I'm in amazing shape, and so I have a ton of flight time, right? I mean, I'm somewhere in the realm of like almost 200 flights, and somewhere in the realm of now like close to 500 touch and goes. So to this date, I mean, just during school, I busted over 200 touch and goes and a bunch of fly time. So I've tried all types of wings now.
Can I ask you something real quick?
Yep.
Okay, it seems like you are doing a lot of stuff in school. How long is school? How long have you been there? You said 2 weeks?
Well, I mean, technically school was an 8-day school. So my school was the 6th through the 18th of November. Okay. And so I didn't fly till the 11th of November. That was my first fly date. And then since the school is really only 40 minutes from my house, well, an hour from my house roughly, they had another school scheduled. So Noah said, come right on back and keep going. So
so how much more have you learned on the second round of school? You think you learned more?
All right. Today is my big learn day. You ready for it? So
I'm ready.
I've learned an absolute ton, and not just from the school itself, also just watching the guys that can fly better and really paying attention to what they're doing, like power on landings, when they're really doing good inputs. I just really pay attention to listening to their throttle, watching their hands, watching what the wing's doing. Man, that looks good. What are you eating?
Yeah, we see you, buddy.
So, no, I can definitely say, I mean, even with having this, Scott down here too. I said his name. Son of a bitch. So,
did you say socks? Okay, socks. Okay.
So, it's this round at school, I will definitely say, with trying some different wings, flying in some different conditions. I've been doing some midday flying conditions. I've been doing a lot more mountaineering as well. So I tried a wing today. When I say this, so I tried a let's see,
Colorado.
MacFly Colorado. All right.
Yep.
And now nothing against MacFly. Okay, this is not a. I'm not bagging them.
Para.
Period. Okay, so if anyone's listening to this, I'm not talking bad about any shoot. Period. Thank you very much to MacFly for letting me
Mac Para.
have a wing. Okay. So
MacFly doesn't make wings.
MacFly Colorado.
Mac Para.
It's a
Mac Para.
Mac Para is the brand.
Mac Para is the Colorado, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so
There we go.
it's a 20 meter, 21 meter Mac Para Colorado, and I spent 2 hours today with my motor on my back trying to get off the ground. I can't even tell you how many inflations I had, how many times I ran. At one point, I stopped, took my motor off, took my jacket off, because I had my jacket with my sweatshirt underneath, my heated sweatshirt, took my heated sweatshirt off, had to ditch some layers, got myself set back up, and went back to attempting to launch. And I'm talking, I mean, I had people standing there with their phones filming. There was a brand new school starting today and one finishing from yesterday. There's 4 students that just graduated, 6 students starting the school. There's the dude Scott loaning me the chute standing there, Jason, everyone, and I am, and plus everyone out here at the fly field, and I am just going and going and going and going and going, and I'm talking 0 wind to the point of 0 wind. So I've launched and launched so long and hard, there ended up being wind, and I'd done so many inflations and tried that we just reset back up. So after 2 hours of me not being able to get off the ground, and
2 hours.
2 hours,
Now,
I
this was
spent
a 21
running
meter, right? You
with
said
a
this is a 21 meter.
21 meter.
What
right?
is your
2
normal
hours
wing?
I spent, and I'm not talking.
Got to explain the story.
So it's a and I'm talking. We also like perfect set up the wing, double check everything. Okay, super blow wind over. Boom, hit it. It's up. It's up. It's up. It's not coming up. It's not coming. It's over my head. It's not. It's down. And so I spent so much time, and it was unreal, right? To the point of I don't give up for anything. I mean, I have the strongest will of anyone I've ever met, and I'm like proud of it. Like my dad, like done me right. So, I had to set my motor down and walk away, pack that chute up, and go sit in my RV, have a little moment to myself. I mean, there were points where like halfway through, I don't know, hour and a half into trying to take off, I actually like I had to sit down. And not sit down. Well, actually, I did sit down out there. I meditated to myself. This is my first flight. This is my first flight. This is first thing in the morning. We're watching the sun come up. Oh God, what a beautiful day. All right, let's go hit it. Totally forgot about the first hour and a half of trying to do this, right? So, yeah, I sat down in the RV, had a little talk to myself, and I went out, grabbed my Roadster 3, and man, first inflation, sent it, right? Like, oh God, I just went, had a beautiful flight, got everything out of my head, and Scott went to try and fly that, and I watched the wing go up and it go down. I'm like, no way. He just had a failed. He had a, like, I almost fell over watching the thing because here's like, I mean, I feel like it'd be like me, it'd be like someone watching me take off on my motorcycle to like, hey, Dustin, can you like show me how to do a wheelie? And I just loop it right in front of them, right? Like, pro rider, like, oh, sure, I'll show you. Like, and I watched him like have a misinflation, like, oh my God, this just happened. And then when he got it back, I ran over there, I helped him set the wing up. And then he sent it, and he had to send it, and finally got off the ground. But it was like, that's not how he, I mean, I watched him take off. He showed me downwind takeoffs. He showed us cross. This dude can fly, right? He lands like within 5 minutes, and he comes over and he's all, gives me a big hug. He's like, Dustin, it wasn't you. the lines were stretched. I'm like, oh my God, like, oh, I do know how to fly. So, man, don't get discouraged. If you know what you're knowing, that you're doing something right, even if you might need some help along the way, and still correct yourself along the way. Don't beat yourself up, man. There's always something. So I really, really felt good about myself. I felt this big, and then I felt like I was peeking out of my sneakers, and then all of a sudden, here I am back to my normal self. So it was awesome.
This is a really good story. One of the reasons why I think this is a good story, and a lot of the newbies need to listen to this, is because there's a lot of people that will go out there and buy a used wing that is stretched out. So they will, they will think that they know what they're doing. They watch all the YouTube videos. They want to self-train themselves, and they're going to do the same thing that you've done. They're going to try to nail this launch. They're going to try to inflate. It's not going to work. And they'll think, what's going on? It must be me, or I just want to get out of the sport, when it probably is just the wing not being correct. Especially older wings.
Well,
how old was that wing?
Unfortunately, it wasn't an old wing. It was a demo wing. It was a demo wing that they said it was new. It looked brand new. It literally had like the extra speed. It had everything with the extra bag, the speed bar, the manual. It did not look used. And you can tell because there's dirt out here everywhere. You can tell 5 flights into a shoot. You can tell when they're used. So it was rather unfortunate. I was really looking forward to flying it. I've been trying this what is that number 2 one I'm flying up next? The Luna 2? Yeah. That Luna 2, it's a 20-meter Luna 2. Man, that thing is wicked. I wouldn't fly my dog with that one. I'd definitely stick with my Roadster 24, but that Luna 20, Luna 220, I was super impressed. Best way to compare it is going from a power steering to a non-power steering in a race car, or going from riding with flat tires to full inflated tires on your race bike. It was I want to turn now, and I'm gonna rail this thing, and I'm gonna control it. It was just so fun. So shout out to Nick. So he's actually letting me borrow his Luna 2 at the moment. I was trying to help out my roommate, so we picked up an extra paramotor for him, and so he can borrow my Roadster 3. And while doing so, they loaned me that Luna 2. And hopefully I like it enough to where I buy one. I'm looking to, what's my next shoot right now for fun? I got a kiting shoot for my buddies. I picked up a groundhog. So I've had a few of my friends come around that dude, that looks so rad. I'm like, perfect. Put this on real quick. I'm out there, my buddy Sean, who loves riding too, and I'm gonna get him into it. There's a few of my buddies. I'm telling you, I'm not shy with passing on passion for fun things. So I'm gonna push this.
Now, what's the furthest that you have done an XC so far? As far as flying from one LZ to another or a different place and back, what's the furthest you've gone?
So on my I took off from the Perky Airport and I flew to the Buckeye LZ, which was that was pretty cool. That was about 22 miles one way, which is cool. When you got to the LZ though for the first time, you had to be 10 feet over the power lines and then drop over the road into the LZ there. So that made it fun. It was like, sweet, we can do something while we're here. I met up with one of the guys from the school there, Matt, and we went on another hour flight, a little plus from there around the area. I mapped out the 40-mile trip from this LZ to my LZ. I was going to do that tonight, but it was way too windy, and I wanted to get on here with you guys. So plus when the guys came through, so the furthest I've gone is from my LZ to that LZ. But I've done like, I guess, longer, just I don't say longer, but big long trips where I put 15 liters in, and I went from this LZ where we're at right now. Man, I flew almost 2 hours east, across the 10. I went to these Indian ruins. I
Wow.
was doing it all by myself. I probably shouldn't have been that far by myself, but it was an almost 4 hour. It was 3.5 hour round trip, and I burned all 15 liters. I mean, I landed with a half liter of fuel.
Do you have apps that you use to keep track of, your fuel or where you've gone or anything like that, like Skyfly High or PPGPS or anything like that?
Yeah, I use the Av Air app. I like that one because it's got like the whole, you can choose like topographical or just like the your regular maps. You can make sure you're flying in all your legal areas. So plus it's got like this little plane on it and it directs you. Honestly, I mean, where I saw this one from was I was watching one of Tucker's videos, and he was doing his Icarus race, which I sent them emails. I'm itching to do, like, once they come out, whatever their next race is, sign me up, right? I mean, like, literally, I'm please email me. So
I'll be there with you. I want to do an Icarus.
Really?
uh,
All right.
I'm itching for it.
Challenge accepted.
We all need to go on the Icarus race.
I got a fly buddy. We're done. I'm doing it. So if you're, I'm let's do this, Sean.
I
I don't care
am.
about winning. I just want to complete it.
I mean, I'm down.
Well,
for
there's two different races on the
you gotta have
Icarus.
that
You got
winning
the
attitude.
adventure and you got the race itself. So if
Yeah.
you just want to go on the adventure, you can do that. You can have the ground support, but the race itself is not supported. It's just you bring everything and hope you don't go down someplace that you don't want to be down.
Are there any hay bales in this adventure?
I hope so.
I'll tell you this.
Nice.
There were some rocks I flew through tonight. Actually, not tonight, the other night. That I actually thought of your video as I was approaching these. Okay, I was like, oh my god, don't clip a leg, don't clip a leg. I mean, it was tight. And speaking of your hay bales, they stack hay bales out here, right? When I say that, I mean they're taller than an 18-wheeler stacked, and they're wider than an 18-wheeler
I
stacked.
see the trains out there are like double stacked high,
Yeah. And so I've been flying down inside those. So they're pretty fun, but man, you don't want to hit one of those.
Now, obviously, you don't want to hit one like I hit either.
So I gotta ask, like, what happened with that?
So this is episode.
What did we
say?
say?
What we got here?
The smell of two-stroke, and the next thing I knew, I was naked.
I can't
Oh, he's
see.
done.
Can't see the
Hammer.
screen. Try it again.
Give me this.
That's an
Nice.
awesome meme.
Hey, let me tell you a little secret. I put a little bit of 93 octane.
Yeah.
Makes the panties go flying off. Love. a
And
little
you guys haven't been
gasoline.
like introduced to the VP, man. I'm telling you, like, check it out. You guys got to roll with like hold that can up right there. It's the VP. So it's the smell. Yeah. You need some.
Yeah, that's the secret right there.
High octane.
I run that in my vibrator.
What?
Hammer.
Hey, so do you work your bikes and stuff? Are they two-stroke or four-stroke?
Bikes. So Hammer's bike, he runs the FZ07 in the Twins class, Moto America in the Moto America Cup. I also take care of a Kawasaki Ninja 400, which is through Barcon Racing. We have a big setup there. It's pretty rad. Dominic Doyle pulled like a number 2 plate this year, riding that's big national number plate. So that's pretty awesome.
I got 2 podiums.
This old man right here got 2 podiums, racing against all types of young kids. I mean, that Moto America bike he's running. What you got, like 90 horsepower.
50 foot-pounds of torque.
His is a vertical twin engine.
Parallel.
Parallel to what? Yeah. Not the V.
Yeah.
SVs is what he battles against. Those are your V twins. So
Yeah, SVs and Ducati 800s and Cowie.
So you work on your own motors, right?
No, I have a builder. Honestly, I have an engine builder in Oklahoma that builds all my motors, but I assemble and build.
one of our buddies,
design.
Sam, he's really good. He's out of Oklahoma, and his son raced on the Barcon team this year. Cooper McDonald, Sam McDonald. He's an old Honda factory racer, and so he's really good with engines. He builds a lot of engines for most of the. I would say most, but a lot of the twins class. The boy knows how to make some horsepower, and he's a good racer himself, and obviously with a couple kids that race too. So,
Have you tweaked your paramotor motor yet and made it put up more horsepower?
We haven't gone there yet.
Actually, that's funny you say that. So no, I actually tweaked Nick's motor in last night. I tweaked my motor in. The motor we bought for Frank didn't run. You go wide open and it just dies. So I ripped the carburetor completely apart, pulled the jets out, pulled the diaphragm piece out. I pulled everything out of that, cleaned that carb on that, went through that motor, and that thing runs. Thing runs.
Titties. That's
that
what
thing runs. It is. That was the words coming out of my mouth. And see, I stopped.
Titties.
So
Yeah.
that thing runs awesome.
You're gonna be a good paramotor pilot, man. Every good paramotor pilot's a good mechanic too, because you're gonna have to fix your own stuff, and usually
Oh, dude.
out of the road.
I've built two-strokes since I was a kid. So.
Well, like the dude Scott, his paramotor wouldn't shut off. He had to pull the spark plug cap. So I went over there and I rewired his
kill
setup
switch.
for it, and I helped him out. And so I helped Scott out with his paramotor. I helped Nick out with his paramotor. I went over and I tuned on some of Noah's. So I tuned on Frank's.
Here's Frank's. I see Frank here.
Oh yeah. So actually, I even filmed one of Frank's launches when he ate it too. If you actually watch one of them.
Watch.
Oh,
Oh, man.
got a little stand in the prop.
Is that the one where he buried his brakes trying to get in the seat?
No,
that was me.
That was Hammery. So that's my buddy. That's actually one of Frank's first launches right there. And that was when the whole Resurgence PPG guys were down here, and he stood there in the middle of the field for almost 30 minutes waiting to try and take off because they were all low flying all around. And he's like, please just let me launch this thing. It's my first attempt. And then they finally flew away, and he goes and does that all worn out.
Oh man.
Yeah, this is pretty brutal.
But now Frank is on it.
Frank's really good.
Frank is like Mr. Consistent.
Yeah,
according to Noah, he is Mr. Consistent.
Yeah.
So
I've screwed up a handful of times. I've had some on-off gas situations where I kind of got oscillating on takeoff and had to kind of save myself.
He almost sent it into the trees the one time. It was close, but he when in doubt, throttle out, right?
Yeah, I throttled out, and then I had the one where I stalled my wing so hard that it went behind my prop wash and stopped me, and then I hit the ground and broke my prop, and everything was fine. I mean, didn't really hit the frame, barely. I mean,
it was only like a 10-foot drop out of the sky. He didn't have to do a PLF or anything. I mean,
I didn't turtle. I landed on my feet.
It was basically prop wide open to feet.
And I heard hypersonic pieces of fiberglass flying past my head. I knew I screwed something up.
Casca.
Tessa, come on, baby.
That's awesome. All right, so here's going to be the next flying dog right here.
She'll be up soon.
And how heavy is that dog?
26?
29.
29?
Yeah.
Oh, that should be easier. A little bit.
Love it.
Do you have any harnesses already set up for him?
So I haven't sorted it yet, but he runs his sideways. I think I want to run mine.
Well, so I've been talking. Again, we're really good at building and doing all types of things. I mean, all my friends call me MacGyver and whatnot. So my buddy Sean Varsky's, he's got a really cool fab metal shop that he started out here, and I helped him out with Moto America a ton. That's actually who I bought this RV from. So we are in the middle of building a dog paramotor tandem setup. And that's what we've been We got a few design, or I say few. We have one design right now, because I want my dog to be able to sit forward, put her feet down, and have her own area where she's comfy, because she likes putting her feet on my legs. She likes being able to touch me, kind of sit into me. So it's coming along. Hey,
We're
working on it.
Is this something that you're going to?
That want to fly with dogs.
You're going to market this and sell it?
No.
We will.
give it away, man.
There's plenty of people that want to fly with dogs, so we'll figure it out. I mean, every dog's different, every size is different, so it's not just like here's some standard run-of-the-mill thing. It's kind of like a custom one-off, because also every paramotor is different, you know. So it's not like you can just go here and do this.
Every dog's a different weight. Every paramotor is different. Every wing's different. So it's hard to like commit to like selling something that people could.
I can promise you this:
but if you give it away,
it is going to be safe, and it is going to work, and it is going to be tested. Because I am all about.
Yeah, we'll test it. I'm not ready to fly with Tessie yet. I think I need probably 10 or 20 more flights before I'm comfortable.
I was somewhere in the. I was almost at 80 flights when I flew with Cassie.
Yeah, I mean, I've only got maybe 14 or 15 flights, so I'm not really ready yet. I mean, I'm comfortable launching and stuff, and I've landed without hitting metal every single time.
Hitting metal. I like how that's how he gauges it. I landed without hitting metal.
Metal yet.
So before you you don't test it like on the real dogs, so you test it on like the stuffed animals, you know, give some like big old teddy bear things, you know, and hook them up.
I'm testing it on my cat.
Oh, no,
I hate that cat.
I hate him.
no. That would like freak them out. No, not the
That's funny.
I'll test it on the cat, and then we'll take it to the vet.
Lord. Oh no.
Oh, here's Brian Haybell,
Oh yeah.
the infamous.
So I don't know
Brian
what we're
Haybell.
trying to do here. Walk
All right,
us through it.
so you'll see I barely just touched the top of this bell right here. You'll see me shake just a little bit.
Oh, what happened? It skipped.
Flying low over a peanut field.
Hey Brian, when you share, make sure you hit the optimize for video. Yours is choppy.
Yeah, choppy.
Is
It
it?
skipped over the part.
Yeah, it's choppy. Go ahead and stop the share, and
So
then
we-
reshare it, and click the button that says optimize for video.
Got you. I did not even know that existed.
Oh, nice,
nice.
much better.
Come on, bro.
Wait for it.
Oh,
Dude,
Danny, look
Dude.
away. Danny, look away.
one more time.
I never
one
looked
more
away. I
time,
saw the whole
one more
thing, man.
time, One more time.
Watch the
Boom.
foot sideways.
Oh boy.
Oh, I saw it
boy.
sideways.
I saw it
So that
sideways.
just is awful every time I see it. That just is awful every time I see it. I hear an
Yeah.
echo too.
So I have to ask, what were you trying to just go in between them, like slalom, or are you just trying to get close, or?
Yeah, I was trying to go between them, and basically the last few seconds flying towards them, I was staring at the one on the left. Best we could figure, I got target fixation, and you know, on a motorcycle, if you look to the left, you go to the left. You know, same thing. I don't know if it's to the right.
Exact thing.
And I made some last minute decisions. The very last decision I made was to try to push off with my foot, and that was a bad one.
Well, 25, that's about 25 or 30 miles an hour. So you got to think, at what velocity do you reach 30 miles an hour jumping off a building and hit a hay bale? That's probably exactly what happened.
11. Yeah.
Oof.
I've hit shit at 60. Sorry, poop. I've hit poop at like 60, 50 miles an hour.
Poop.
So I would laugh. Everyone's like, oh, you're doing about 20, 25 miles an hour. I'm like, that's like 50 cc speed, man. Give me a real motorcycle. Like, I've crashed at 100 miles an hour. I broke all my bones on my right side doing 140.
Well, we
Hey,
don't want
you
Brian
got-
to do that. Don't try it at 100 some miles an hour.
Now, these guys, they seem like they're a little bit of adrenaline junkies, and they like to have fun. And they're going to be down there dodging those bales of hay, flying to the bottoms of copper quarries where nobody's ever been before.
And no one will find them.
You don't want to know something funny? I was
You
thinking
know
of
how easy it is to break bones, so be careful, man. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
Yeah.
So I was thinking of you actually when I was doing this. I have some cool footage of it. I was right across the street from my house up in the White Tanks, and I was slaloming the big swirl cactus. I mean, like those had to be like about 20 feet tall. I mean, my chute. Yeah, my
Dude,
chute
if you
was,
hit one of those, oh my god.
I was like,
I
I was
can't imagine.
I was literally goal posting some, and I was slaloming them, and then you're trying to do it like through the canyon, and you'd have like a little bit of oscillation coming off the canyon from the wind, and so you're like controlling through the oscillation while going around the cactus. It was man, yeah, legit. Coyotes standing there watching you go by. It's cool. I got it all on GoPro.
We like to party.
We like to party.
Wow. So what's the scariest thing that has happened to you so far? I don't think it's been, I mean, I don't think you've flown enough to be scary, but
there's like things in life that scare me, I try and duplicate or chase. So one day, I think I was on day 4. It was close. I think it was my last day at Epic Paramotor School for my PP1, and I was practicing a few things, and I went way up. I went to like 5,000 feet, and I stowed my throttle away, and I decided to let's learn how to circle carve down, and I G'd out pretty hard, and when I came out of it, I had this surge oscillation, and I didn't catch it and control it, and I had a full A-frontal collapse. And I literally looked, I felt the lines go white. I looked up, I watched the top of the wing come down, and I fell until my Roadster 3 reinflated, and I drove away. And I can definitely say with no reserve, what were you thinking, Dustin? Come on, dude. So I learned a lot more about when you're pulling on that inside and you're weight shifting and you have that control on the inside, you need to pay attention to that 80% on the inside. You really need to watch that 20 on the outside. And I wasn't doing that 20 on the outside. I might have been like 5 on the I was like maybe 2% on the outside. So I was like, I had no outside control, and I was on about my 3rd circle when it was, this is getting gnarly, and I went straight out of the 3rd circle instead of trying to circle back into it, and the full upsurge, kind of like hitting a triple, like 4th or 5th gear tapped, and just send it, and next thing you know, you're falling out of the sky. But instead of having to push off the dirt bike and hit the ground, you're floating, and all of a sudden it caught, and you're like, yeah. So that was my first really scary moment. I talked myself through afterwards. I wasn't like I came straight down, but after that flight, I had a little sit down with Noah, my instructor. I explained to him what I did, and we talked our way through how to fly through something like that, how to fly yourself out of something like that and be safe. It was it worked, and because that's one of my favorite things now, is just coming in hot. So yeah, that was a good one.
You might want to keep an eye on how many hours that you do the acro on your wing. I got a Roadster 3 also. Love it. It reinflates so quickly when you
SIV course on it.
What's that?
I said I think I watched you do like an SIV course on it.
There you go. So
I watch videos.
He's on it. He don't miss a beat.
man, he does not miss a beat.
I love it. I love it.
But yeah, man, those Roadster 3s, they just pop right open, and I'm not afraid with a Roadster 3. I'm not afraid. But what I'm trying to say here is, with the acro that I did and the hours that I put on it, I stretched the line so much that it flew. But when I sent it in after the year of flying it, they said it was not airworthy. I have to get whole new lines because I just stretched them out, and they snapped at like 150 pounds. So if you're gonna be doing that, make sure you send in your wing and get them checked to make sure it is airworthy, so you don't go far and snap a wing or snap a line. JP, he actually, one of his lines snapped, and he had to throw a reserve, or else he would have been a pancake. What happened, JP, when you threw that reserve? What was the whole scenario?
Yeah, no, it locked me out into a left-hand spiral, and it wouldn't pull out no matter what I did. So yeah, but you know, that's what we train for. So thank God that I had the right equipment and everything at the time, and I had been versed and knew how to handle it, because it was just, you know, barely a thing. But if I wouldn't have been prepared, yeah, could have been very bad. I don't know if I would have been dead, but I would probably be paralyzed, at least.
Wow.
Indeed, yeah.
Yell at me if you need me.
So, you know, I mean, that's another reason why, you know, you always have a bunch of, you know, PPG friends, you know, and fly friends and stuff, you know, people that have done this for a long time, that have gone through SIV course and have done acro. You know, for us new guys like us, you know, once we realize things like, you know, they do wear out quicker when you do acro, the lines. Keep track of your hours, and if you feel that, you know, it's not inflating right, it's just a little bit off, send it in to someone, get the lines checked. It doesn't cost that much, and it could save your life. You do fly with the reserve though, right?
I mean, I got a 110 BGD reserve. So yeah, I absolutely. That was like the first thing that I was on my list. So that's one of the first installations I did on my new Parajet Maverick. So yeah, absolutely. My buddy Hammer, he got a steerable one. So again, Noah here at Epic Paramotor, I mean, he hooked us up with both reserves, both units, I mean, all our wings. I mean, you know, I mean, I can't say enough. I mean, to be a new person into this, you know, whole sport, it's not the cheapest thing, and there's a lot of trust involved. I mean, I again willingly just sent a whole bunch of money, and with receiving no product, and you know, a promise on whim, and showing up to a school without having meeting anybody, and it's like, perfect, you know, here's my 40 grand, send me everything, and next thing you know, it's like, wow, this is awesome. Oh, I say it wasn't like that for just me. I mean, there was 4 of us that went to the school, so it's not like that. Just get into it. I mean, I'm so stoked with having a reserve. It gives you that extra confidence too. And I gotta ask, so when you threw your reserve, what reserve did you throw? And like, were you able to like repack it, reuse it, or is just like, now that one's thrown away, get another one?
Oh, no, they could be repacked.
Absolutely, yeah. I had an advanced companion 140, 160, I think. I'd have to. It's a 160 because it's like way too big for me. But that was good. It turned out good because I had a slower sink rate.
Freeze up.
And yeah, I landed in a cornfield, which also kind of padded the landing a little bit. Don't think the farmer was too happy about that, but yeah, I actually, they have a how-to on Advance's website of how to repacket them yourself. So I actually went through, and after I pulled all the ears of corn and all the corn husks out of it, because they were everywhere, man. But I had to clean that out and untangle all the lines. You'd be surprised how tangled your lines get when you go down like that.
Wow.
The lines were everywhere. But I went through and I untangled all the lines, and I actually refolded it myself just so that I would know how to do it. And then I sent it in to get professionally folded, just because I didn't want to take any chances. But it was nice to have that experience, I guess.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
Good to know. Huh. You know what else?
Skinny Chef Shane in the chat. You need to jump on, man. Skinny Chef Shane. Shout out.
I'm here. I'm just waiting
What?
for everybody to stop
Oh,
talking.
what's up?
Whoa!
I saw him in the chat. I was like, where's he at?
Everybody was asking about you, Shane. Where you
Wait,
been?
I got a cheer for Shaney.
I had things. My house is awry. It's tore up from the floor up, literally. I had tile, or my wood flooring got wet, and so it's just such a long story. Oh my God. So anyways, I have some guys tiling my floor, and they were supposed to be done this weekend, and they're not.
Nice. I like that. A beer just appeared out of nowhere.
It's a
Wait
beer.
for it. Honey, where's my koozie? I don't want to get copyrighted with advertising beer on here. Oh, you threw it on the ground. Next time, hand it to me gently.
No, she's gonna throw it at your head, Shaney.
Right.
Yeah, she's gonna forget to put the beer in the koozie and throw it at me.
Yeah.
Anyways, so I my whole house is destroyed right now, and we've been living in the camper on the side of the house, which the dogs don't understand because we're supposed to go camping, and then we left them in the backyard, and they're like, "Hey, we're not camping, we're in the backyard." Then they want to go in the house. It's just a nightmare, dude.
I
But-
feel for you.
Could I do it myself? Yes. Do I want to? No. So I'm paying somebody. And anyways, long story short, because the house is such an array and everything, my wife and I went out to dinner and had to discuss some business things, and here we are. Sorry I'm late.
No problem. We're ready to stop streaming and leave. No, I'm just kidding.
The content is shot now.
So, Sean, I had one for you that I wanted to share, especially for people getting new into the industry. Having bought, we bought early, I say that, we bought two Parajet paramotors, and this whole 4 to 6 week, wait period, you're all excited for your new toy showing up. Mine took almost 9 weeks, and it was rather unfortunate. And I was blown away with I got a phone call from Italy, direct from Parajet, where they explained to me how there was a random process that was getting pulled over there with some shipping things, and they literally went above and beyond. I mean, I was not expecting to have a factory call me, to check up on stuff. So, I mean, having dealt with all types of factories in the motorcycle industry and dealt with KTM, a long list of factories, and blown away with I mean, things like that, with backups, with calling up, and especially Aviator and in Florida. I mean, I wasn't expecting to get a call from Jeff there too. I mean, and Eric. I mean, it's just kind of crazy. It's pretty rad. I'm shocked with how many cool people in this industry really want to make sure everyone's out flying and get their cool toys. So
what's your next trip that you plan on taking?
There is I'm gonna run up to the 40 out of Flagstaff, and there's that giant hole in the ground there. So after finding the copper mine and going to the bottom of that one, I figured, you know what, let's go find another hole and try that one out. So there's
Where you going, Meteor Crater?
Yeah, I'm gonna go hit the Meteor Crater just outside of Flagstaff.
Yeah.
Can you fly down in that? I mean, is that legal?
If you don't get caught.
I'm gonna check a few things. I don't necessarily know. That's on my path. That will be there in roughly 3 days. I have not read the rules of what the fly area is over there yet. I 100% do my research. I can tell you that. So we're gonna find out. We're gonna see. I mean, I have
crater than the one we were watching earlier.
Say it again.
Is that a different crater than we were watching earlier?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Meteor Crater is a huge crater near Winslow, Arizona.
Correct. Right outside of Winslow, Arizona, just off the 40. And it's just a giant meteor crater. And the one I was in earlier is a copper mine.
Oh, it's not a meteor type.
No,
It's not a national park, but I think it's like a national historic site or something like that, meteor crater. So I'm sure they have regulations about flying in it.
Yeah, Tucker, what, flew over it or
Right
around
over
it
the
or
middle.
something?
And he flew right over the middle. I watched his video of it. I mean, that's another thing too. I like being able to study other people's videos, so you can kind of like see where they launch from, see where they're flying around. You just kind of study that, so you kind of like already have the perspective of where you're going. Makes it a little easier for landmarks, things like that. So, yeah, looking forward to it.
Hey, real quick, we need a screen
Thumbnail.
thumbnail. Yeah.
Thumbnail.
Okay, wait, hold on, wait.
So we're gonna do a thumbnail real quick. We're gonna do a picture.
What? Oh, take that thumbnail away.
Do we have to show our thumbnails? I can't get them
See
turned
my
that way.
thumbnails?
All right, ready?
Look
One,
at Shane.
1, 2, 3, cheese. Cool. Perfect. You guys are so cute.
We try to be
You are JP.
Oh,
the cutest.
you're so sweet, Linda.
You're a good liar, brother. You're a good liar.
So I'll say this: within the next month, I will have there's a cool lake in Texas. I'll be flying over here for a few weeks. I'll be hitting the plane graveyard right here next to my place. I'll be doing the racetrack at Indy Motorsports and just jamming the whole thing. I actually have a lap timer I'll be putting on my foot. So as you cross start finish line, I'll be timing myself to see what I can do as a lap time. What I'd really like to do out of Indy, since it's our own private fly area, drive area, I mean, like it's a resort, it really is. It's a man cave of man caves. And I want to host a fly party out there. I think it'd be absolutely rad because it's like nothing else. I mean, you can literally sit on top of the mountain in your own glass, look around enclosure with its own little like barbecue pit right there, and you can watch everyone fly at the same level because you're sitting there mountain high, and everyone's flying around the mountain, and you can play on the racetrack, and literally you'd be looking down on the people as they race the racetrack flying, and it's walking distance right there. It's, oh my God. So I've got a really cool vision of hosting a very, very fun fly party with race cars involved. So it's going to be rad.
So when you are ready to do this, make sure you come back on the show and announce it to everybody to let us know.
Okay.
Can I come?
Absolutely. I mean, I'm looking forward to doing the deals here in March. I mean, February, I know they got like there's like 2 fly-ins, like there's like the Salton Sea one, and there's one other one. Because I'll be in Mexico doing a hill climb with my race team, the Barcon race team. We're doing a big international hill climb in Tecate, Mexico. It's like the longest, largest hill climb since Pikes Peak's closed, and motorcycles aren't allowed to race on Pikes Peak anymore. This is it right here. So I'll be able to fly the racetrack, which is cool, and then we'll be coming right back and hitting both Motown and the Salton Sea party. So it'll be rad. February is going to be one heck of a fly month.
I've actually driven on the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
Okay, so you're thinking Indianapolis Motor Speedway in Indy. This is Indy Motorsports Ranch in Arizona, Wilcox. It is a private, members-only race facility that's like no other racetrack in the entire world.
Gotcha. Totally different place than the Brickyard. Okay, gotcha.
Right. I was at the Brickyard this year. I kissed the bricks this year. My boy, we have actually we set the lap record there for the Kawasaki Ninja 4 for the Junior Cup Moto America class. Yeah, it was up on we're on the podium this year. I love that place. It's a rad place.
Heck yeah.
So when you come over here and you hang out in Arkansas, there's also a boneyard that we can fly to over here.
Awesome. Looking forward to that.
But I think that your area is a little bit more fun than my area. I think you totally beat this area over here.
Well, I mean, it's Arizona. It's like, okay, I'm going to wake up. It's going to be sunny. It's going to be warm. It's going to be nice. What can I do today? I can fly today. Like, I mean, it's like, yeah, I've met this whole crew of like RC plane guys too right out here, and it's rad. They flying with those guys. I mean, the one dude, he's trying to convince me to stand on his wingtips on his RC plane. He's really good at flying, but I don't feel like my skills were quite there yet. maybe after this weekend or next weekend. I mean, I just got a few more days maybe, and we'll be trying something gnarly like that.
Don't y'all get some super windy days in Arizona, man? I
Oh,
mean,
man.
I've been driving through there, and I swear it's 30 gusting 50 sometimes.
Well, we get over boobs, and we definitely get some wind. I mean, I know that dude, like Harley there, who was doing like the cross country run. I mean, at one point, I think he was registering like 80 or 90 miles an hour with the wind or something. I mean, there is some wind out here, especially during the day. I mean, I didn't fly tonight because it was so, but it wasn't just like the hard straight wind. It was tornadoing out tonight. It was pretty gnarly.
Yeah, I was pulling my camper through eastern Arizona, headed south, and the wind out of the west was so bad that my camper was leaning at like 15 degrees. Dude, if you ever heard of white knuckles, I was white knuckles driving, man. I was not comfortable.
That's awesome. Sounds like the last time when we finished in Laguna this year, I was driving out of Laguna Seca, and as I'm coming down before you get to the 5, what is it, like the 240s? I don't know. I forget what road exactly it was. 5 or 7 18-wheeler trucks tipped over in front of me. Okay, in front of me, like they're in the fast lane, and they're taking up on the fast lane part of it, and they ended up being dragging off all the way onto the right side of the road. And then there was 3 or 4 oncoming that tipped over the same way, but they tipped over onto the median wall. I'll tell you what, me and my dog and my RV, we were full pucker factor. Like it was one of the sketchiest things, because I mean, I thought we were gonna blow over in the RV with them too. It was it was a long trip, but it was crazy.
So other than the spirals that you were talking about, what other acro have you done? Have you done wing overs, barrel rolls? I mean, what else have you done that?
I mean, just for like the PPG2 deal, like I learned how to do some big ears. That's actually pretty fun. I really enjoy throwing some big ears. Like on a descent, dropping down. I have tried the wing overs, and I want to say I don't do them deep, and I don't do them well. I have a lot to learn there. I'm not trying to push it quick. I feel like I'm learning the outside control and understanding that pressure, and I'm not trying to rush into that, because after my surge with the A drop, I feel like with the A funnel, I feel like I'll ease into that one a little more, just not rush into that one. I mean, I've been foot dragging water. Are you allowed to? I don't know if you're allowed to drag on the train tracks or not, or what. But I might have saw some people dragging their feet on train tracks. The barrel rolls, no, definitely haven't tried a barrel roll. But what I guess I really like on like cross country deals, there's a mountain right here next to us, and I came in pretty. I landed on the edge of the mountain, and when I say this, like there wasn't much of a deal, and I ran over and right off the edge of the mountain, and just dropped down the other side. That was pretty wicked. I'm getting really good at like spot landing deals, so I mean, like I really enjoy kind of doing like things like that. Like, oh, I know I can go right to there and then just take right off from there. I mean, like I've been dragging the top of my RV and like running across the top of my RV and things like that. Just really control like low flying. I've been doing some really cool going through like the ravines, where when I say this, like you're down in the wash inside the canyons, and you're watching the edge of your wing, because you might have within about 10 feet of the canyon edge on each side, and you're just like jamming through the canyon, and you're going in between like the bushes, and you're like, oh, I'm going to stick it in between that bush, and my wing's going to just fit in there, and I'm going to carve around this corner. So, I mean, I feel like I'm single track riding on my, my KTM, but I'm like, I can fit through there. I've had one time where I clipped a one of my strings of my brake line. It might have been my tip steer line, but I clipped the line on on a, there's right here on the fly field on the LZ right here, there's a fly pole, and I wanted to see really how close I could hook this fly pole.
Yeah.
I touched it.
I did that on a field goal post once. The whole thing, like, dong.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Nice.
But you never know how close you get until you know. drag your
Right?
line across it.
Exactly. I mean, I got.
Have you ever gone up, killed your engine, and landed?
Go up and just shut it off and spot land. Oh yeah, I've been working on that a lot. Like from like
Okay.
1,000, 1,500 feet. That's like one of my favorite. I want to say one of my favorite. I really enjoy the challenge of being to hit that. So like at my LZ where I'm at up in Buckeye, basically it's rad. You can hit the 1,000 foot, 1,200 foot, J and like S it right into where you want to hit your spot, or just float it in, circle over and hit it. But once you shut that motor off, I got this really cool like little. I suggest everyone get a Crazy Shark magnet and hook it for their throttle, because I mean it's so rad. You don't want your throttle, or even if you're cruising, you can like it just magnets your hand right to the throttle, like your wherever you hook the other side of the magnet to. It's a Crazy Shark keychain magnet. It's actually made for fly fishing. So with your cruise control, it's like it hooks your hand to your arm and holds your hand there, and it's just like having a magnet on your brake. You unclip it off, and oh man, it's got to be one of the most comfortable things. And so when you stow your throttle, you just kill your motor, hook it to the magnet, and right to the brakes or tips or whatever you're doing to drop down. Yeah, I've been practicing that because I've been thinking, like, I've got a lot of hours. Everyone says, you're going to have a motor out. So I've been practicing, like, all right, when it's going to happen, I'll be ready for it. No big deal. So I just shut it off. I practice hitting my marks. So yeah.
Now you say that you are, we talked before the show, and one of the things that you said is that you really go through your engine. You make sure that everything is tied down. And
Crazy Shark. Yeah, dude, legit. You get the 899 one. Oh yeah, 866. Yep. Absolutely love those things. My God. Need them for every throttle. I should probably get one for my phone and put a lanyard to it, but whatever. Wait, what did you just ask me? Because I got all Crazy Shark happy.
No problem. Before the show, you said that you went through your motor and you make sure that everything's tied down, and so you don't have an engine out, because you know that you could have an engine out, especially down at the bottom of that.
Exactly. So again, with like I prep bikes for Moto America for multiple different people and all types of even outside of there. So if someone's going to trust their life to go massive lean angle at massive speed, and they're expecting me to be able to give them a safe unit, and this thing gonna last, I do the same thing for my paramotor. So like with putting your spark plug on, I mean, a lot of people just like put their spark plug cap on, and that spark plug wire is just like kind of coming over, and they have that cool little attachment. Well, if you really do it right, you can actually safety wire that deal down so it never comes off. Like physically, it is impossible for this thing to come up. I don't care if the internal piece vibrates out, it can't come up. It's impossible. I mean, so like when you're racing Daytona 200 and things like that, I mean, you can't have anything vibrate loose. I mean, I safety wire battery bolts down on my, race bikes and things where it's like nothing can vibrate loose. So I even have like a smoker on. I mean, I have things safety wired off to where, it works really good to where you can visually see it, especially with a safety wire, so nothing will fall off like that. Plus, it gives you that extra peace of mind. Like, I touched it, I know nothing can happen. The paint is cool, the orange paint and everything. But I mean, even with like the air box, their little strap deal with like their whatnots, I felt a little better just putting a little extra on with like the wider T clamp, and just kind of upgrading a few minor things, like with the spring on the throttle, instead of just having like a push, you can actually put a bolt clip, and what I mean by that is it's a little metal clip with a safety wire hole in it and also a bolt hole. So you pull out one of your intake bolts for your manifold, and you put this little tab on, and you put that bolt back in, and now you can hook a spring from the outside of your throttle that actually pulls your throttle versus having a spring to try and push it open, because a spring pushing open doesn't work. You do the same thing on like clutch levers and rear brakes and stuff like that for road racing. So there's a lot that just transfers right over, and it's like, also I build two strokes. I can't even tell you how many I'm a two-stroke, I want to say, Mac guru. It's crazy. I know a lot. I know too much. I forgot a lot about it as well. It's nice that I can set my friends up. I was able to teach a few things, I mean, to the school here. I mean, these are 3-shoe clutches, just like on any little dirt bike that you get all the way across the nation. And when I say this, every kid in the nation that's running any like little KTM dirt bike or plane, they're all the same 3-shoe clutch. So it's like, I know how to fix it. I know how to adjust it. Like the whole belt operation's the same as running a Ducati. It's like, it's actually the same tuning pattern where you got to like hold your deal next to it, make sure you quiet area and tune it. It's like, so it shocks me of how much everything is like a motorcycle, and it's all easy for me. It really is. I mean, it was fun to be able to teach my teachers something. And not only motor wise, check this out. Ready? I was able to even teach them like, there was a deal where I had to turn around with all my lines and all my risers and everything. And I was crossed one way, and I wanted to be able to turn to a forward from crossed without inflating. And most people, like, you have to like unline and or unclip. And I showed them like, no, I like put my lines together, and I would like throw them over my head and turn. And then I was lined up perfect for forward without doing any inflation. He's like, well, that's a cool technique. And he's like, you got to do it 3 times in a row, basically, for it to be a technique. And so, all right, check this out. And yeah, it's a great technique. I was pretty stoked to show a teacher a technique.
I can't wait to see your how-to videos in the future.
I got like how to fix an RV, how to fix a motor. Yeah, I got a few funny ones. So
definitely the how to upgrade your paramotor to make it a little bit safer. I hope you do those, because I'll definitely be watching those.
Oh, awesome! Right, how to attach your dog properly, and yeah, I will. It's pretty rad. I can't wait to. Cause I'll be doing a top end here soon, I feel like, and I mean, I ordered a top end kit for my setup already, and what's wild, you know, I didn't even realize this, but about 20 years ago, there was 2 gentlemen, like 2 Mexican folk, that came into the shop, and they had a Husaberg motor, and they begged us to make it for their paramotor. And it was a trike paramotor, and it was a single cylinder 450cc. Or was it 550cc? It was a big Husaberg motor, and I mean, I was blown away. Like, it actually, I didn't even think about it back then, but it made me like reckon. Since I've been flying, it totally took me back to then. And like my buddy Barry that owned the shop, you know, he was even asking. He's like, "Hey, are those guys still around in the industry? You know anyone running a Husaberg motor on those or building?" I'm like, "Bro, that is so old school, but that's actually funny. That's 20 years ago I could have been into this. Man, I missed out."
Interesting. I know that you said that you flew up to 5,000 feet. What's the highest you've gone so far?
That was the highest I've been. I cannot wait to jump to 12, 13,000. I mean, I've jumped 13,000 plenty times, but I'm looking forward to flying there and just chilling. Here in Flagstaff too, I mean, I feel like, you know, hypox is not a big deal. I go snowboarding at 12, 13,000 feet up here in Flagstaff quite a bit. I mean, you get off the lift at like 11,000, and you have to hike up to the top of the mountain to keep snowboarding down. So it's going to be quite the adventure. I'm looking forward to. I want to get a little bit better of a fly computer. I was looking at the Garmin 570T, or was it the 750T? See, that's where my dyslexia kicks in. I think it was a 750T or something, but I'm gonna pick up a nice Garmin tracker. So, because I got some really cool flights I already got planned, and I cannot wait to jump really high.
That's interesting, but you also said too that you go to almost all the states. So in 2021, are you gonna be hitting all 48 lower states and flying in them?
Yes. Oh yeah, 110%. Be driving to every one of them.
Anybody else on the panel have any questions?
If you're anywhere in this country, please don't be shy hitting me up. I don't care if it's got to do with motorcycles or paramotors. I am down for. I'm really good at cooking, and I'm down for hanging out. I enjoy sharing my passion with everybody. I travel with my motorcycle. I usually have a girl on my back, so I can train anyone at any time, anywhere, any parking lot. And do not be shy hitting me up, man. I break down here and there. I mean, one of the fun things I like doing is I drive a 99 Chevy Chalet 454 RV with 225,000 plus miles on it, and I'm not shy of sending it. And this thing, I mean, I can't wait to retire this thing and get a better one. But all my friends have all these, nice $200,000 plus dollar hammers. Hammer travels in a luxury machine. So
hey man, I got a classic truck I want to show you. Look over my right shoulder here.
Now you're talking, dude.
So I fly paramotors. I put my paramotor in the back of that truck, and I went and flew with some new buddies yesterday.
That's awesome.
But hot rods, man. You got to look us up on Facebook, man. Like I said, we need to stay in touch. When you come here to fly, when I come there, same deal.
I mean, I make everything an adventure. I mean, I literally, like, when I'm driving somewhere, usually something happens to me while I'm driving there. So there's an adventure while I go there. I get there, something happens, there's an adventure. I mean, I really do live just like fun moment to fun moment. And even when there's a bad moment, you just find the funness out of it, and it's fun. I mean, I can tell you some of the best times I've had are breaking down on the side of the road somewhere. It's fun life.
All right. Well, we've been chatting for 2 hours. That's pretty darn amazing. Anybody in the chat have any questions before we head on out? And anybody on the panel have any questions for either Hammer or Ghilli?
Where can we look you up, man? I mean, do you have a YouTube channel?
Yeah, absolutely. On my YouTube, you can find me at Dustin Apgar, my name, and I'm on my Facebook. Facebook's kind of hard because I think I'm maxed out at like 5,000 or something. I need to get start another one for my dog. But my Instagram, I'm on the gram at my name again, Dustin Apgar, and I'm definitely going to be starting something for my dog Cassie, my paraGriffon. I mean, she's a wire-haired griffon, and she's kind of a rare breed, and she's I don't want to say human-like, but man, she's got so much personality. It's amazing. I mean, for her to be jumping in my seat of my paramotor, like take me flying, jumping on my motorcycle, sit in my seat, saying take me riding. My dog pushes for adventure just like I do. So we're always into it, man. So please hit me up. Follow me or just find me and let's go on an adventure together.
We got a bio in the description down below, and all of your links that you sent me are down below. So if you guys want to find them, make sure you find them. There's a couple of .coms too that you told me to put down there. What are the .coms that you want me to put down there?
Definitely put up the epicparamotor.com. I mean, please, the school here is amazing. Noah and Nick Rochette. When I say this, man, I mean, I've been around a lot of instructors, especially in the motorcycle community. It's really nice to have somebody that knows themselves, knows what you need to learn, steers you in the right deal, and doesn't just talk about themselves or whatever and promote wrong things. I mean, man, awesome. epicparamotor.com, rad. I'll tell you this.
You got the Moto America.
please come check out Moto America next year. Okay, we're gonna be flying all over the country. We have 10 races. We're all over ESPN. We're on Fox Sport Network. Okay. Also, be prepared to come out. Check out IndyMotorsportsRanch.com. I think it's an IndyMotorsportsRanch.com, but it's Indy Motorsports Ranch in Wilcox, Arizona. I promise you, I'm gonna throw the gnarliest fly party. I mean, I've thrown some really fun parties out there for track days. I've had my birthday party there for almost 7 years in a row. My last one, I had over 100 people, over 60 riders on the track, over 100 people for my birthday party. So let's throw a serious fly party. We can all race the racetrack, flying around. There's the Winchester Mountains. So I promise you, check me out. Check us out there too, in Wilcox at Indy. And
when's your birthday?
August 24th.
Clear that weekend.
Sir. Yes, sir. Exactly. And we have a gun range right there as well. I mean, we have it all. It's crazy. So please find me next year. Don't be shy. Oh, he's far away. I'm in a different state. No, I promise you, I'm going to be coming through that state. So just hit me up.
Sounds good. Anybody else have any questions before we wrap anything up? There's Hammer. What's up, Hammer?
Hammer 213. Okay. And also, let me just give you a quick little deal. Okay, so for Barcon Racing, my race team, all right, we deal a lot with. There you go. Let's see if I can get it in. There's your Warriors project. Okay.
Right.
Big sponsor of ours, Wounded Warriors Project. So please, I mean, these guys. Well, I mean, like the whole Resurgence team with Wounded Warriors. I think that's awesome. Plus, I'm huge in promoting this for our race team. So, oh yeah, Hammer would definitely like to say he's an old broken man, and you have to carry these things around, okay? And these things wear you out, all right? And so, what you need, I will tell you this right now. You all need a Turptastic stick. This is unbelievable when you're worn out and you just can't move anymore.
That's a lot of pajamas.
It's unreal right here. So please check out Turptastic, because this right here, this also helps us race. But at the same point, it's a pain stick. It's a rub-on pain stick. And oh my God, no, it's nothing like your Ben Gay. This is the Turptastic. It's
really strong. It's amazing.
Muscles, bones, worn out.
It's a CBD derivative.
Like, I need to go fly right now. I can't move my arms. I rub this on my neck sore. I put this on my neck. It's like, boom. So check it out, please.
All righty. Well, we're going to be going to an after party. Normally we do the after party here, but we decided that we're going to make our own after party. It's a different meeting idea. I just posted it in the chat. So if you want to go there, we're going to be jumping there in just a moment. And we are going to kill the live stream and go to a private after party where we can talk about everything. And the swear jar is off the table.
Oh, hell effing yes. I swear all the time. Moto America told me that I've been bleeped out more than any racer in their entire history. Because I always cuss. I get excited and I cuss online all the time or on air all the time.
I think you did pretty good tonight. I think you did pretty good.
I'm not very PC. Like I said, I'm kind of
you did good.
I'm an old man, dude. I don't care. Like I pay for this shit myself, so you can't pay me to not say the F word.
Well, we appreciate you not dropping the F-bombs on the podcast.
Yeah, it was fun, man. We appreciate you inviting us, man.
This is rad. This is awesome.
We've only been doing this for me like maybe 2 weeks and him like maybe a month. And, we're going to accelerate. We're going to be, part of this whole movement. I mean, I think that having guys like us doing this and showing a lot of people and exposing paramotoring to the community is amazing. And it's a thrill that I can't even explain. Like, people ask me and I'm like, I can't even explain how intense it is. Like, there's this like fear, but like you overcome it. And then once you're up, like, it's so exhilarating and so beautiful. And like, so in control. I mean, these machines are just so dialed. Like, I can't even explain how cool it is. Like, I mean, like I said, I've been racing motorcycles for 17 years, and it's the first thing that I've done that has made my balls go into my mouth. I mean, literally like 20 years. Like,
Woo!
I mean, if you know what I'm talking about, that feeling of like your nuts in your mouth. Like, I mean, that's the feeling. Like, I don't
Because
know.
of all the adrenaline, right?
Yeah, yeah. And then the dump after, like after I'm done when I land and it's all over, I've never had an adrenaline dump like this in my life. Like, racing is one thing, but this literally is like an adrenaline dump. I'm like, I want to pass out after like 30 minutes of flying. I'm like, all right, time to go to sleep. I'm so tired. I'm so sleepy. Like, I can't, like, it's crazy, man. I've never had an adrenaline dump like this. Maybe it's the fear.
So you think that there's more adrenaline in flying paramotors than racing at 100 and some miles an hour?
I mean, I've been doing racing for 20 years. I've only been doing this for 20 days. So, I mean, give me a month and then I'll talk to you.
I
again.
mean, I've been 216 plus mile an hour on official inside of 1 mile on an airstrip on my turbo bike that I built with a 50 mile an hour side breeze gusting to 70. That was gnarly. All right. So I've been 230 plus mile an hour on a motorcycle as well. I've been 170 plus in cars. I've done, I've cliff dove from, 100 plus
100
feet.
feet, yeah.
I'm really good at cliff diving. I've done, I was on a scout sniper team in the Army. Then when I was airborne, I mean, I've jumped on all types of things, at night, Blackhawks, whatnot. I've done a lot of wild things. I mean, this is, dude.
Yeah, it's cool.
This is the one, man.
It definitely is intimidating. Like I said, like, to like get the nuts to like send it and just like pin an engine to push you up into the sky is really impressive. Like, I don't know, man. I mean, like I said, I've raced 180, 90 horsepower motorcycles at 190, 200 miles an hour. And this is different. This is like, it's naturally not supposed to happen. So your body like shuts down. Like, my body's like, nope, you're not supposed to be doing this. Like, don't do this. Don't do this. Like, naturally you shouldn't, like, mentally and naturally you shouldn't be doing this. And so it's hard to break that barrier. I need to fly into the sky now and like trust
At
this.
25 miles an hour, you get the adrenaline rush. That's pretty amazing.
Well, man, it's like, what's crazy too? It's like when you're flying the paramotor, I feel like I like flying close to things too, and like wedging through the gap.
Like doing,
especially since like, because when you're racing a motorcycle, I mean, like at Daytona, let's say for instance, racing mile 1, you'd be on the bank, coming off the bank, you'll go from 180 to 200 miles an hour. 200 miles an hour, and you're rubbing elbows, you're rubbing shoulders, and you're battling. You might be 3, 4, 5 guys. You might have one, 3, 4 inches in front of you. You got one dude literally touching your arm on the one side of you, and you got someone trying to draft around the outside. And it's like, okay, we're gonna shoot this gap at umpteen speed, and you have to control this brake pressure with lean angle and add all this, and it's really close to the same. I mean, we have to control brake pressure, lean angle, and speed. Like, but we're in the air now. I get my own racetrack at free will. I want to turn. And like, I make so many cool racetracks in my head and on the ground. It's, oh my God.
Have you ever flown so close to a hay bale that you decided to kick it?
No comment.
Sorry, Brian. Sorry.
You weren't here, but he already played the video.
Oh, well.
Oh, yeah.
It's
all good, man.
Oh, it's classic right there, dude.
I'm sorry I'm late. I really am. I missed the whole show, but I had things. But
and it's cool. It was cool that Dustin actually knew about Brian because he saw the video.
Oh, great. I got to crash into something for people to know me. Great.
Oh, man. So,
man.
Any questions in the chat? Any questions?
You want to
from
see
the
something
panel?
funny?
Yeah, we got one question in the chat from Greg Taylor. It says, where can I buy Terptastic?
Oh, so you can go for the Terptastic, right to the website, and they're asking for the Terptastic.
Oh yeah, conquestcbd.com. ClearPropTV is the product. It's a rub-on.
So it is a CBD product.
Yeah. It's a rub-on lidocaine-based topical, like hot, icy hot, and it is so good. It numbs and soothes it initially, and then after you're done, the CBD and the eucalyptus and all the other like natural. I mean, it's 100% edible. You can literally chew on the stick if you wanted to.
Sounds appetizing.
It does its thing. I don't really know all the science, man, but I know that it works because I mean, I race motorcycles. I'm 41 years old, and I'm not a spring chicken.
The whole race community comes through his RV and picks these up. I mean, it's crazy how many people actually use these to keep racing throughout the weekend. And that's through like the Conquest CBD.
Perfect.
I'm trying to find it on Amazon. It's on Amazon?
Is that on Amazon or is it direct?
Yeah, I'm looking for it.
Oh, it's not on Amazon. It's a direct through Conquest CBD. It's not an Amazon product.
So ConquestCBD.com.
Yep.
Yeah, Conquest.
Conquest. ConQuest. ConQuest. ConquestCBD.com.
Then it asks you if you are old enough to go to this site. Okay, I'm there. That's pretty cool.
Be 18. Yeah, you have to be 18. And the product is the Terp Stick. Their website is really ghetto right now. They're like kind of working on revamping it. Eventually it'll be cool, but at least you can order the product if you want to. If you want to order it directly through me, that's fine too. You can.
Oh, you have it yourself. Where should we go to order it through you then?
Follow my Instagram or my Facebook, which is 213 Hammer, and if you private message me and want something, I can send it to you directly. I get a bunch of cases of them through my sponsorship, so
it helps. It totally helps pay for us to go racing and pays for us to get to races. Because the way the whole sponsor deal works is they'll send him a nice product, and he's able to basically sell it off so that it'll pay for tires and fuel sponsor for us to get around. So it helps.
If you go back to episode like 38 of this show on Sean Simon's PPG YouTube channel, you'll see Brooke Sheffield, and we interviewed him. He's a PPG pilot, trained at Aviator, and he's like y'all, man. He's sending it. You know, he's got a couple hundred hours already, but he's in North Carolina. He's a commercial hemp grower, and so he's got all the CBD products and stuff. He was really digging into the science of it on our show. It was pretty interesting.
Oh yeah,
that's what we do too.
Yeah. Big time into like there's a True North trading company I deal with out of Vermont, and big CBD company, and I helps out a lot, so I do that as well on the side. So
awesome.
Yeah. So here I got to show you this. I think Hammer had a little fun on your show tonight.
The whole bottle?
Yeah, I killed it.
Wow.
Nice.
While watching your show, while being on the show, that's awesome.
It was a good half full.
We've been splitting it.
It was a good half full.
That orange cup I was sipping on had some whiskey in it. I've had a long weekend, man. I'm on vacation, baby.
I haven't been drinking him.
I just went to your Instagram and sent you a message saying I want some of that Turbtastic.
You do.
Oh, cool.
I promise you do.
Sweet. Nice. I'll add you. I'll get you added in.
Cool beans, man.
Cool beans.
Because I'm an old man too. I'm a grandpa. I think I have more ailments than you.
No, you said you're 43. no, that's the other dude.
Oh. Yeah, I'm 40. I'm 43.
No, I'm in my 50s. I'm a grandpa. I got a couple of grandkids in me right now.
Jeez, give me a break. You're so old,
awesome.
Grandpa.
Well, how about you, Grandma?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
How old are you, Grandma?
Ah. All right, I'm
Easy, Mike. Easy.
gonna put it out there right now. I was gonna put
you
out
could
there.
ask that.
I am 65.
Wow, I would have thought you're my age.
Like this at 65.
I thought you were my age.
You look like 21. I don't know.
Thanks. Thank you.
Dude, I like the Christmas hat too. That's awesome.
I know. I had to dress up a cowboy hat tonight. Yes.
I added all you guys on Instagram, and I appreciate you letting us come on and bullshit with you guys. And like I said, this is kind of new, and we're really stoked to like kind of promote the sport and have fun, and get people into this, and and we're really pumped, man. I mean, we've been having a blast. This is like kind of taken over our lives in the last couple months, and we love it, man. I mean, obviously Dustin's kind of like taking a step forward and like his.
I have no problem dragging these guys along because we ain't dragging it through mud, man. We're dragging it through air. So that's cool.
Yeah, it's all right.
Exactly.
Man. We're stoked.
Stories like yours are the reason that Sean started this show, is to spotlight new paragliding pilots. And you know, I was only a 6-month pilot when I broke my leg, so they highlighted mine. But yeah, you know, guys like you getting into the sport new that are just sending it and you know, making it look easy. You know, we want to talk to you so we can all learn from you how we did it wrong.
I'm not gonna lie, I've had my struggles. I mean, like I said, I'm scared of heights, so for me to like get off the ground and be comfortable, it's taken me a good 6 or 7 flights before I was comfortable enough to launch without like shit in my pants. And then
We had to have some really good talks.
we had some talks, you know.
Don't think about anything bad. Only think the good. It's a
good.
yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, like
It's
being
only
confident.
confidence.
Being confident makes a huge difference in this sport. Like, you know, when you go out there and you're pumped to get up in the air and there's decent wind and everything's going good and you nail the launch and you nail the landing, it's really confidence inspiring to like do it again. I mean, people get scared. I'm not gonna lie. Like, to fly through the sky at thousands of feet and shoot to the ground and try and pull some fucking strings to land is like, come on, man. Like, it's not easy, dude.
Oh, he
Like,
says strings too, by the way. I broke a string as well, and I replaced it myself on my own shoot, and it actually was pretty not bad at all.
yeah.
I had a, and you know what's wild? Okay, so here you go. I had a misinflation early, and no, was it no? I came in and landed, and right as I landed, the wind turned 180, and so I got down, but the strings got in my motor before I could shut it off, and I stretched one of my cords to where the sheathing came off, but the inner cord was still good. I flew on that for
4 more days.
4 more days before my replacement line showed up. So my brake line had this 6-inch gap of color in it from where the sheathing was gone. It was just bare internal nylon. And it was a little sketch, but still, I mean, so I know what it's like to stretch a line and replace a line. That was cool. I learned that.
I broke a prop and replaced a prop. So, we're learning. We're having our fun. I mean, it's cool. Like I said, it's if you do everything right, I feel like it's really comfortable and I feel safe and I'm taking
What
my
shirt
time.
is that?
Dustin's got a bigger sack than I do, so he's pushing the limits a little bit. But
I'm going to suggest one thing. The way you guys go, maybe you need 2 reserves. I'm just saying.
on each side.
You know what? I actually mentioned that because I watched the dude throw 2 reserves recently, and you know what? After he had both his reserves out, all 3 ended up inflating, and he had all 3 inflated. So I don't know about 2 reserves, but it was still cool.
I appreciate you guys inviting me on. It was awesome. And
Hey, real quick, Craig Taylor said he didn't see your stick there. The
Derp stick.
He didn't see.
Here, hold on.
Well, while he's getting that real quick, anybody on the panel needs to go. I know that we've been going way too long. Anybody
Yeah, I'm
need-
getting ready to sign off, Sean. I'm
right,
going to
bud.
head out.
Hey, Brian, thank you so much for joining us and helping us out. We appreciate you.
Well, hey, guys, I got a bell. Peace.
Hey, Bale, I
Great
love it.
meeting you, man. Awesome meeting you.
yeah, awesome meeting all you guys.
Hey, you too, guys. We'll catch up later.
Man, so we can go hail, go hit some bales of hay again. I'll jump with a few. I'll bounce
Heck
off
yeah.
on them.
Peace out, guys.
Peace out.
So here we go on the Conquest CBD. Let's see if I can get their address in here.
It's conquestcbd.com.
Oh, and of course it's gonna be backwards because I'm filming it. Oh, stop.
That's what she said.
ConquestCBD.com. I went there and I saw it. But just like you said, go over to 213 Hammer on Instagram and get it through Hammer, right?
Correct. You can get it right through Hammer, and it totally helps us out. Where is the? Yes, full CBD stick totally helps out Hammer with being able to get around the country and race. So amazing stuff. I mean, I can't even. It just wipes right on nice. It's just a
And
rub on.
you said it tastes good too?
Huh? No, it actually does. It's not. It's like a. It's got a nice flavor. I don't know. It's like a. It's weird though. It's like I don't know. Like you don't eat it, but I mean you can. Like taste. It's actually the first time I tasted it. It's weird. It's dude. It's so awesome though. My God. I mean, I put it on everything. I really do. Like, well, I wouldn't say everything, but it will hurt.
Or make everything numb.
And it's hot and numb. It's weird. It's
like the icy hot you said. It's like the Bengay, but better.
Yeah, it's not like a Bengay. It's way different and better. It's yeah. After like a hard day or two of riding, usually after 2 straight days of riding, you need to go race on day 3 and you like hit the ground. You take a little bath in this stuff and you're ready to go.
Nice. So what does a stick like that cost? Real quick.
Hammer usually sells them for $40 a stick. I think they retail for like $70 a stick or something, 70 or 80, and he usually sells them for $40 a stick.
Gotcha.
And they last me. I mean, I sent one to my mom. I sent one to Kim. I mean, they even hit my mom's out. Can you send me another? So legit. I need to go meet up with Noah here and finish up some PPG2 paperwork and head back to Buckeye, my friends. So I'm going to end up having to get running.
Well, thank you so much. We definitely appreciate you. You came on here and you gave us some very interesting stories, which you did promise. 2.5 hours worth. That's a lot of yapping. That's a lot of talking. So we definitely appreciate you with that many stories. Wish you could do more. And we're going to be all going to the after show. Like I said, I placed the meeting ID and the password. So we will see y'all in the after show. So thank you very much, Dustin and Jason.
Yes, thank you guys.
Ghilli and Hammer, we appreciate you.
Yeah.
And y'all have a great day. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We know where to find you.
Yeah, we know where to find you.
We know where to find you.
Hopefully I see you all soon.
All right. Be safe.
Later.
Thank you.
All right, now it's time to have